My head. Hey,
What's going
hey.
on, people?
What's up? What's going? What's going on? What's
Live
going on? Hey,
impromptu show.
people. Impromptu. Hold on a sec. Something's going weird there. Get some really. There we go. All clear. So how's it going?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Evening, Tim, Adrian.
We'll put excuse me. We'll put this in chat for anyone who would like to join us.
Play that retro vibe thing that you just played before the show.
Wait, you want me to play now?
Yeah, why not? Let the folks that are listening or watching the show have it stuck in their head just like we are.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
I like to party.
Fucking retro, man.
It's retro, dude. Everybody was watching the show and have that stuck in their head.
Well, that's the whole point, right?
Yep.
How's it going, Tim? Hey, traveling. Hey, Adrian, how are you? Oh, I was just farting around. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it. Just gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Kevin.
The noon lights work with it. With the noon lights?
Sure.
The noon lights? You mean this? You mean this?
I like to party.
That's psychedelic.
I wonder if we're gonna get. I wonder if we get dinged copyright on that. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Who cares?
Kevin's drinking too. Cheers, Kevin.
I'm gonna have to refresh. It's just like juice, man. It's going down too easy. Scary. So yeah, it's nice day today.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We're getting there, but they're saying it's not going to be 20 for a while until like the end of May, late May.
I'm okay with that. I don't mind this weather at all. I prefer it.
Yeah, no, I love this weather. This is great, but I prefer it on the other side, like going to the fall, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, I stumbled upon this thing. It's pretty neat, and I don't know if you got to see there's not much of a trailer for it yet. And that's a new found footage flick coming out in October for a movie called Mothman.
Yeah, I saw that's the link you sent me today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to actually watch the video, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, there's not much of a trailer. It's just a teaser, really. But fuck, it looks like it was shot in Point Pleasant, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
I probably would assume it would be. That's where pretty much the Mothman was born, or if not born, at least popularized.
Yeah. But you know that I put a feeler out for the director to come on and chat about the movie coming. I believe October. It was saying October, but you never know with these smaller films
Mm-hmm.
if they're completed in time or whatnot. If they're going to be able to release in October, but perfect timing, October.
Of course.
Perfect. So yeah, that's cool. I've been watching this really fucked up series on Prime.
What's series?
Outer Range.
Outer Range?
Yeah, with holy shit, what's his name again?
I'm looking it up
Oh
right
my
now.
god. I'm having
Josh Brolin.
Yes, Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
A lot of people when I looked at it first, I thought, okay, this looks like a Western, like sort of like Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started watching. I'm like, no, God, no, it's the furthest from it, man. It's twisted. It's about this guy. The only thing that has a similarity is like this guy's trying to save his ranch,
Right.
but he discovers this hole in the ground, this mysterious hole in the ground that literally has no bottom to.
Huh.
And when I first watch this, I'm like thinking back to an old Coast to Coast episode with Mel's Hole. I don't know if you remember that one.
I don't know.
This guy came on the show and told Art that he discovered he has this bottomless pit in his backyard.
Hmm.
And he dropped down a recorder into the hole.
Well, yeah, you know what? I do recall that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And they called it Mel's Hole, right? I don't think there was ever any evidence of this hole actually existing, or this guy Mel, or the address, or anything else. So, whatever. But I immediately thought about that and thought, well, hey, maybe this guy was a Coast to Coast sort of fan, and he took it one step further and decided to make a whole story around it. I mean, even some of the bumper music in the show is reminiscent of Coast to Coast when Art Bell was hosting it.
Yeah. You know what? It could very well be that this guy, I take it his name was Mel, that was on the show.
Yeah. Mel, I can't remember his last name. Mel something.
He may have had like an influence in this series, maybe.
Quite possibly. But
let me see if I can find any info on it.
As the as the series goes along, like I just started the episode 6, and it just keeps getting stranger and stranger and stranger, and I love it. I love the strange. I love it. It's strange, really strange. I don't know if anyone out there has watched it yet.
I know
I'm
Kevin
sure
mentioned that he wants to watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few people who are listening that have watched it. It's just really twisted, man.
I'm gonna have to keep that in mind.
If anyone would like to join us on the panel, by all means, we'd love to have you on. The link is in chat. Don't be bashful. Completely open discussion into whatever, wherever it goes. Just
You said it was on Prime?
Prime, yeah, Amazon Prime.
I'm looking at it right now. It's not coming up.
Outer Range?
Oh, Outer Range.
Yeah, that's the name of the series.
God damn it. I put Outer Realm for some stupid reason.
Outer Range.
That's what we have on tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
The Outer Realm.
Confused. There we go.
Yeah, by the way, we have a scheduled show tomorrow night with Canada's Most Haunted. Michelle Durocher is going to be on the show. And we're talking about the Outer Realm.
Alex is drinking toilet. What?
What? I want to see that film. Nope, ain't out yet, but looks mental. Which film? Tim, which film?
Yeah, don't leave us hanging, Tim.
Yeah, Tim. And Tim, you got to come on and play some of your keyboards, buddy. They're classic. I loved it, man. I don't know if you got to catch that show at all.
No, I didn't get the chance.
Nope. Tim doesn't want to come on. But yeah, pretty good series. Like I said, it's pretty twisted. Pretty damn twisted.
I like Twisted.
Well,
Twisted is
that's
fun.
you know, I like I said, I was afraid at first. I'm like, okay, I don't want to watch a straight up Western. You know, this guy's just looking to save his ranch from being taken over. No, Nope is the name of the film. Nope. Okay. Nope.
Okay.
Gotta check.
I'm halfway through Grimm now. I'm on season 3.
Yeah. I started it. I'm slow. I just restarted again. Since you pointed it out being back on Prime.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love that show, man. It's classic.
I know, it was a fantastic show. Actually, I had a chat with I was over at Kevin's place today and we were just chatting, and he brought up a show that I also watched that I enjoyed, Fringe.
Great show, but I felt
awesome show.
Near the end, though, they were starting to lose themselves.
Yeah, like the ending. Yeah, you're right. The ending wasn't as good as it could have been, but the show as a whole was fantastic.
Oh, great show! I loved it, man. It's like it was basically for those who enjoyed watching the X-Files, and the X-Files that pretty much finished, I believe, when that started.
Mm-hmm.
So it filled that gap, and because there wasn't really anything out there that was sort of strange like that. But Fringe really, I liked it.
Yeah,
great.
John Noble was fantastic in that.
Yeah, great fucking concept. Really enjoyed it. There was another show, pretty twisted in that sort of manner. Oh, what was it called now? And basically, there was it dealt with a parallel world and how they basically came together, and there was like literally a border that they kept closed to each world, but you could cross into each other, and when you crossed, it was like it was a no, and literally the people that did cross were like spies and stuff like that to see, hey Simon, how are you? Because one had technology where the other didn't.
Yeah,
it was really, really odd. What was the name of that show? Counterpart. I believe it was called Counterpart, and unfortunately it was canceled after 1 or 2 seasons. I can't remember, but it was interesting. A good concept.
I'm just looking it up, see if I can find anything on it. Counterpart, an American science fiction thriller television series starring J.K. Simmons. It was created by whatever. 20 episodes only, 2 seasons.
Yeah, too bad. We
Looks like this is the one.
Hello, sir.
How's it going, guys? You all right?
How you doing?
Yeah,
Hey.
Good.
Tim. It must be what time is it there? 2, 3?
2:19.
2:19. So tell us a little bit about this movie, Nope. I haven't heard about that.
I'm not sure who directed it, but it's been it was a couple of weeks ago. It was all over YouTube. It was in my recommended thing and all the rest of it, and it was like I put it on. It's about a ranch or something in the States, and it's to do with UFOs.
Really?
or something along them lines. It was like a horse ranch or something along them lines, owned by African American couple, and did a lot of strange things. It was very off the wall. The whole trailer for it was crazy. Like it
Now I have to investigate.
was quite strange.
Strange is good.
Mm.
I love
it's-
Strange. Cheers, man. Cheers. What are you drinking?
I'm on a mile back tonight, man. Continuing way.
Nice. Yeah, nope. I'll have to look at that. There's a lot of a lot of strange fucking movies out right now.
Mm.
I'm finding, but that's good.
I've only just finished watching The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. That's my thing.
I haven't caught up on that yet. I don't know. I don't know why it's taking me a while. Like the first season was
Perhaps it's because it's been tarred with the Disney brush.
yeah, it could be. It could be.
Might be,
But what the next one's Obi, and that's what that's coming out in May too, I think, isn't it?
yeah, I think it's towards the end of May. I think the Star Wars celebration thing is now May the 4th, or something like that. So
Yeah.
he's showing all the trailers and sneak, giving you a sneak preview of it and all the rest. What I expect. So yeah, but go on.
I don't know how I feel about the whole Star Wars sort of franchise being with Disney, but I don't know. I get it where they're pumping new life into it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I like some of the shows are pretty good actually.
Mhm.
As long as what's his name's in charge, Joe Fairview, whatever his name is,
Favreau or something.
Favreau, yeah.
And there's another guy. What's his name? I think what was his name? James Bologna or something like that. And whatever. Is it Bologna?
I don't know. I can't remember.
And the other guy is directs a lot of it as well. Yeah, some of the shows. The only thing I was disappointed with, they hyped up the Book of Boba Fett, and it was just like trite. It was absolute trite. The last 3 episodes of it were just garbage. The rest of it was really good though. So there you go, Disney Fiona.
I don't know. Are you a Star Wars fan at all, Alex? Oh,
Who, me?
yeah, you.
Nah.
You're Alex, right?
Yeah. I was reading something. Sorry.
Oh.
I enjoyed the original the original series that came out, the 3 movies, but I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I found obviously the news, the couple new sets that came out. I just they're okay.
Yeah.
I
I suppose that's what happens when you sell your $1 million franchise over to a big corporate, company with me in it, and they butcher it. So anyway.
Well, yeah, I think there's a few examples of that. You just like somebody posted something about earlier today, Kubrick's AI, and people are going, well, is that what Kubrick envisioned? And I sat to myself, no, I don't think so. I mean, if anything, that was a Spielberg film. That was Spielberg all the way, even though it was Spielberg finishing off Kubrick's work. But I didn't see any of Kubrick's. I didn't see. I don't know. Have you seen AI, Alex?
Nope, I have not. I've heard about it, but I haven't watched it.
Have you seen it, Tim?
I think I have. Is that about the little boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Artificial intelligent dude.
he never ever ages, and it shows him, and then he loses his parents and this, that, and the other because he's like adopted, isn't he? Because they lose their son or something, isn't it? So they adopt this whole thing.
There you go, Tim. You're Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Hey, Darren, how are you?
Yeah, that's the one, the Clone Wars series. Yeah, that was actually really good. The Clone Wars, I got to be honest with you, for an animated cartoon, I watched every single episode, so I enjoyed that. Not for
Uh,
everybody.
Give me the Transformers any day. Oh man. Uh I you know,
I still got my Megatron in the cupboard from when I was
y-
a kid.
oh you're kidding. You still have that?
Yeah, still got it. I got a couple of them, I think. I haven't got Optimus Prime anymore. I wish I'd kept that.
I wish I kept a lot of the stuff I had when I was a kid. I had so much shit.
There's a lot of Star Wars toys as well when I was young.
I had a lot of the original action figures, and I look at them now and go, "Wow, I should have kept them." Oh, how
Yeah, there
much
was a
the
story years ago
yeah,
where this guy had collected all the G1 toys
yeah,
that came out originally, but never opened them. He just
yeah.
collected all of them. When he passed away, his wife says, "What the hell am I going to do with these?" So she listed it on eBay,
Yeah.
ended up getting $1 million for it.
Jesus.
And this was like many years ago, mind you. So it's like, just imagine $1 million for the entire collection.
So she was smart enough to put it up for bids, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Good, yeah, because
Yeah,
you just don't put a price out there,
yeah no, I don't.
not knowing, obviously, right?
But fuck, man, $1 million for that. Holy crap.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's a good question for you. Do you have like a collectible from when you were a kid that's worth a lot of money?
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I know Tim. You said you had Optimus Prime or whatever there
I got
from the.
Megatron, but my most valued thing I got is my Boba Fett figure from
Oh, you still have that? Wow.
But the only thing is that he's not worth as much as he would be if he was in the packaging, if you know what I mean. If he was
Well,
like
yeah. Oh, yeah. If stuff was still in the packaging,
you've
it'd
got
be
to
like,
you've got
oh,
the Jedi Luke Skywalker that's still packaged from back in the day from when, but it's like it's just they don't seem to value the value on them. They go up and they go down. You know what I mean? That's the
yeah.
thing. I mean, like my Boba Fett's probably worth about maybe $100, something like that.
He was always my favorite character in Star Wars.
He was literally only in it for like what 4 minutes, 5
I
minutes.
know, I know, I know. But he was such a cool ass fucking character. He should have had a larger part. He should have.
He does now.
Well, obviously, yeah, with the TV series. But it's not the same.
No,
It's not the same.
I think a lot of it is fan service, is a lot of it as well. You know what I mean? With Disney.
Well, that's what a lot of it is. Fanboys going, "Oh, look, I've got some money. Let's make a movie." And some of them turn out pretty good, but most of them are like, "What the fuck?" It's literally masturbating to something they love. Sad. Yeah.
If we didn't get a copyright strike, we're gonna get something else going. And it's pretty soon.
Oh wait, did we put restricted? No, we didn't.
I don't know.
You probably get one because I've mentioned Disney about 4 times, 5 times now.
I know.
Oh,
We're
probably.
gonna be taken down.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Disney, that was
We've got a clean record so far.
So far, yeah. Keyword.
Come on, we're not controversial. We never are.
No.
This is tame. Come on, folks. Join us up here on the panel. Link is in here. I'll put the link out again. If somebody would like to join us. Completely open.
I don't think Barry's going to be on tonight because I think he's working in the morning. So.
Yeah, well, he was. He did a couple streams. Were you were on one of them, were you?
He was on one this morning.
Yeah.
And the other day as well. I think. So, I can't remember. Yeah, probably this morning and last time I went with you and Barry. That's right. That was the last time. Not before that one.
And I'm telling you, man, the keyboard you had, what was it? What were you playing?
I haven't got a clue. I put it away, so there you go.
It was pretty cool though, man. He was like just hammering away on it. It's like, holy shit, this is pretty cool.
I had to put it away because my mate Gaz wouldn't leave it alone. He just kept playing on it and playing on it and playing on it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, blooming mental.
So I was telling Alex a little bit about that experience you were telling me about the UFO thing. Did you tell Alex about that?
Well, the one where we were on top of the mountain in the car.
Yes, tell him a little bit about that. That's pretty cool.
Basically, back when I was a teenager, you know, you go off in a car and we'd all be smoking and whatever, and you know, park up somewhere quiet, and we end up at the top of the mountain, which is basically, well, right in front of me. It's quite a big mountain. It's called the Blorange. There's a small car park on the top of it. People usually park there to view all the aircraft coming in, because there's a flight path that the RAF use for the fighter planes, and the US also use it as well for training exercises. Anyway, we were sat up there, and this must have been about 11:15, something like that at night, and it was all smoking and all the rest of it, and we've seen this light. All of a sudden, it was a big bright light, and it shone right down onto the car park, and it was like an orb, big bright ball in the sky. And it literally, my mate freaked out. We all freaked out, like, and he started the car up, and drove down very, very, well, I would say thin country lanes. So you're talking, there's not much, you know, you can only get a car down it, and if you were coming up it and the car was coming down, you'd have to reverse down. So he floored it. This thing followed us all the way down the mountain, right to the end of the road, and then shot off towards the River Severn, which is probably about maybe 30 mile away from here, but out towards that direction. And as we were coming down the road, we were viewing. We could see. I was in the back of the car, and I was looking out the window, and this thing was matching us for speed coming down. It was no helicopter, and it was no sound. And it was a bit of a weird experience, like, you know. But that's going back a while. That is. That's going back years and years.
That's interesting.
It's a bit of a freak one. I've also seen the three lights in the sky. You've ever seen that sort of thing going on?
Yeah,
I've
seen three.
Dance around each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they move across the sky, and it's definitely not a plane. It's way too high for it to be a plane. But they dance around. It's so strange to see these three little lights, and it's not like, you know, when people go on about I saw a triangle UFO and all this sort of thing. And then, you know, the typical triangular UFO is the three lights on it, and then you've got the one in the middle. You know what I mean? And you see it all over YouTube. There's nothing like that at all. These things they would go into a triangle shape, but then they would maneuver around each other. They break off that formation and move around each other. It was very odd, but it literally, when I saw them, because it was a cloudy night, I literally saw them for about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. By the time I managed to grab my camera, they were gone. They've gone into the cloud base. That was it. Like, I couldn't see them after that. Yeah.
See, that was the same with mine when the experience I had. I was able to capture them on cell phone camera, but back then the cell phone cameras were shit.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what, I'm going to scoot home and see if I can get a camcorder. You know, I got home, I got a camcorder, and before you know it, they were long gone. They were long gone. You know.
It made me go out and invest in a Nikon camera, put it like that. So, you know, just in case I ever see anything weird again, like.
Well, the beauty of cell phone cameras now are just incredible. They're amazing now, but back then they're just like.
My current, I think it's like 1,000 times, something like that. On the,
What,
Oh,
your cell
yeah.
phone?
No, I think
my
I know which one you're talking about, Tim. I forgot the name of it too, but it's the Nikon camera, right?
got a P1000. I got a P900 as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I keep my
See,
P900.
I only have a D80.
Oh, the P1000 is not a DSLR. It doesn't have a detachable lens.
Bridge
Oh.
is just.
It's but it has an insane zoom
Yeah.
on that thing.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of use it now and then just to view the moon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't. I did a load of videos a while ago with my P900 to do with the moon as well, and it's like, well, you put these videos out there and you show people what's actually on the moon as opposed to all the bullshit videos that are on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saying there's an alien castle on the moon and all this sort of nonsense. Like, and you never get any views. You know what I mean? It's so weird. Like, you know, the people are more interested in the sensationalism part of it.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the scary part.
So, like the sort of stuff that I'd say, like what I don't know whether you know of her, but Linda Moulton Howe, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He just totally and utterly feeds you full of horse shit, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buy a book or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Well, it's like, yeah, you put in you throw it up on YouTube or whatever, and you put some fancy title to it, like some alien strips female, and bang, you're gonna get shitloads of views and shit, and oh, what the hell's this shit? It's misleading.
Yeah.
It's like what was it, Alex? We named one of the shows here, one of our shows, putting the porn back in paranormal.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, man, the views were just off the charts.
We had exactly. We had quite a lot of views just because of that.
But people just yeah, it's so true though. It's you put out footage that is authentic.
And
it's straightforward footage, but people just don't give a shit.
And then you got some muppet with a movie editing software putting out, you know what I mean, garbage, like, you know what I mean, and getting thousands of views and like a following like you've never believed, like they're like a cult following, like it's like, oh.
Yeah, like I mean, there's some people out there that actually they share some intriguing footage, and they say, look, is this real? I don't know, but it's intriguing. It's up to you to believe it or not, which is fine. Most people, I like to think and like to believe, are smart enough to know what is real and what's not. But
yeah,
you'd be awfully surprised about that.
I watched some stuff on YouTube to do with astronomy and all the rest of it, and well, fake astronomy, I would call it, like, you know what I mean, like fake, to do with like the moon and all the rest of it. There's a few channels out there that people should really steer clear of because they're like literally just baiting them into giving money over, and you know what I mean. It's bad, like, really. Not, dishonest is probably the best way for me to put that.
Which one? Sorry.
Oh, there's many.
Oh,
there's many. There's not just one. There's many.
Yeah. There's a few out there that again will edit it to their liking and say, look at, okay, this is strange, and put a little backstory to it, and literally, oh, this is interesting, this is really cool, I have to look into this. And I don't know, like I do like watching and reading that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I'm not like a lot of people who buy into it.
Yeah, just take it with a pinch of salt, the best, and that, you know what I mean. That's what like I watch stuff on YouTube that's like to do with it, like, but it's, it washes over me, goes, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You just, and the other thing is I suppose it's for people that don't have the money to spend. gear. You know what I mean? Like camera gear and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They don't. It's not like as if they can disprove what other people are saying. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You
I
know,
mean,
it's
I viewed it all. I viewed the moon's a hologram. I viewed the you know, there's alien bases on the front of the moon. There's alien bases on the top of the moon. There's alien bases at the back of the moon. You name it. I viewed it all, and it's just well, maybe, but the footage that's being shown, nah.
I've heard those, like the hologram theory and all of that stuff, but
No,
I don't know. When it's in a full moon out there, that hologram sure generates a lot of light.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, you know what I mean? But but you know, here's the thing. I mean, the problem, not the problem, I guess if you can call it a problem if you want, but the thing is that when you have the ability to let everyone voice their opinion, they will.
Yeah.
And that's just it, right? Whether it's right or wrong, that's a point of contention. I mean, you as an individual who watches a particular YouTube channel or listens to a particular podcast, it's up to you to decipher whether you think it's real or not based on your foundation of knowledge and research and what have you. And if you choose to believe it, that's your prerogative.
Suppose you all got to believe in something, I suppose.
Well, it's I believe it's part of human nature. I mean, we all want to feel like we're a part of something bigger, right? And for a lot of people in the world, that turns out to be religion of some sort. You know, that's their sense of belonging, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But for those who are not religious, like myself, for example, we need to find something that we need to be a part of. And it could be something very minuscule, or it could be something as grand as, you know, they believe in, you know, the moon's made of cheese, for example. Right. But anyway, that's the way I see it. I don't have a problem with people believing what they want to believe. The problem I have is when they start to sort of push it on other people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I mean, you're free to believe whatever you want. It really has no bearing on my life what you choose to believe in. But when you try to force others to believe the same thing as you, it's where I draw the line.
Wrong, that is, yeah, it's wrong. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I had a fucking sneezing fit and I can't stop sniffling now. Steve went to go get a drink, so this is why you're not seeing him right now. He's going to get a refill. But so you said you have the P900, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Z9 from Nikon?
I haven't actually. Since I bought my P1000, I've sort of dropped out of viewing stuff online because I know that I'm going to see something and I'm just going to go, oh, you know what I mean? I need that.
I just checked because it's not out just yet. But I checked the pricing for the new Nikon Z9 and it's here in Canada. It's $6,900 for this camera.
Ooh.
It is fucking insane.
That's mental. That is. That's
it is.
What is it? What is it? The Nikon P9? What?
No. Well, I was just talking to Tim about the new Z9 that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we were also talking about the P1000 and whatnot.
I paid when I bought my P900. I paid, well, I would say probably about £500 for it.
Mm-hmm.
I bought my P1000. I spent less than that. I think it was 350 quid, something like that. But I bought them second hand, obviously. But that's unbelievable. That's a hell of a price to pay, you know.
I know. Well, here let me take a look how much the P1000 is worth over here.
Just
to give you an idea.
$6,999 body only.
That's the Z. Yeah, that's the Z9. But the P1000 is $1,299.
1,299. Oh my god,
It's insane. Like it's insane. I have a Nikon camera too, but
which one do you have?
I think I have the D80, I believe,
Yeah, I get the D90.
or I might have the D90. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've looked at it.
I think it's. Hold on, is it? No, I'm. Oh my god, hold on. No,
I used to use that camera a lot, but ever since the cameras on smartphones have become so good, there's really no need to carry that thing around.
sorry, I got the.
I don't know whether you can see it on here.
The D80.
A D80. I think that's the same one I have.
I love it, man.
It's a great camera. Don't get me wrong. It's just for everyday use. You know, there's no need now with the way cell phones are.
Oh, I know, it's insane.
I mean,
and
Sue. Hi, Sue.
I've taken some really cool photos with that sucker, and I've actually what I've done is made prints out of them, and well, you've seen them, Alex.
Yeah.
And frame them. It's an amazing camera, and well, I love Nikons. People are like, no, I don't like Nikons. I like Canons.
Buy a Canon.
There's this whole this whole thing. There's always got to be.
There's always going to be that.
Yeah.
Always. The one thing I love about Nikon is their fucking batteries. Their batteries are freaking insane. They last forever.
Why are they freaking insane? Mine don't.
They last forever.
Well, that's because you don't use it enough.
No. I'm just saying, like, you charge it. The last time I charged the battery here was probably shortly after my daughter was born, which is around 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at half now.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's insane, these batteries.
I mean, I'll charge mine and it'll last a long time. I know that. I mean, I won't use it for months, and then I'll grab it and turn it on and still have like battery life. I'm like, holy shit.
Batteries in Nikon, and that's one of the things. When I bought this camera, the guy I bought it from at the store I bought it from, he goes, Nikon by far has the best batteries on the market for their cameras by far. Because you won't go wrong with buying a Nikon just for that.
Yeah, like I said, I've always been I always have preferred Nikon when I've got a camera. Whatever it is, a simple point and shoot digital, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But did have a Sony A7S as well. For a while, Matt Williams turned me on to this camera, and it was a good camera. It wasn't bad.
Which one?
A7S.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
And it was pretty good, but it lacks certain things. Like it's really good for doing like urbex sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and just general filming. But it's no good in really low light. You know what I mean? But have a torch, and when you're taking pictures of the night sky and things like that, it doesn't really.
See, that's why I love Nikon. I had to buy I don't know where the lens is, but I bought an F9 lens, and holy fuck, man! In low light, that's incredible.
You've got a Tamron that does that. Is really
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the Tamron lenses are pretty good.
Those are nice.
But that's the whole thing with this Z9 is supposed to be, aside from having a really, really fast processor, so it allows you to take and it's mirrorless. Yeah, so it's a mirrorless camera.
Yeah,
it's supposed to have incredible speed when it allows you to take, burst shots. Really, like they were doing some comparison of an eagle flying, and the quality of the pictures that it came out of this camera were spectacular. We're considering it was in flight.
I always had an issue with mirrors and cameras, though. Let's sort of, I guess, let people know, because there probably people know when you say mirrorless camera, simply doesn't have a mirror,
That's right.
and people are like, well, why do they have a mirror? It kind of, cameras and lenses sort of emulate the human eye.
Mm.
And the human eye has what looks like the iris, and then it has a back like a mirror. It literally, what you see is literally upside down inside. What is it? The iris or the what's not the iris?
The retina.
The retina literally turns what you're seeing upside down.
Well, the lens turns it upside down, and it's reflected onto the retina upside down.
Yeah.
Kind of like a telescope sort of thing. So.
Yeah. But I found one of the setbacks with the mirror is again the fine detail. I always found that some pictures, no matter what you did with lighting or whatever, it never really turned out that good. Where a mirrorless,
Can't fault that.
have you shot a mirrorless camera, Alex?
No, not me. Because all the cameras I've had, well, unless you're talking about point and shoot, obviously point and shoot are mirrorless, but and the P1000 and 900 I believe are mirrorless as well, because I think those are part of the Coolpix family. But no, I've had the first camera I ever had, and it wasn't me who bought it, it was my older brother, was an actual Nikon. I don't know the name, the actual branding, but it was a 35 millimeter film camera. So it was a long time ago that he bought this, before digital cameras were popular. And I loved that thing. I even went out and bought black and white film
No, man.
to be able to take black and white pictures. Right. And the problem but the thing was, very few places at the time processed black and white film.
Yeah.
So I had to look around for someone who was able to process it, and I also had to pay out my ass just to get it processed.
Why didn't you learn how to do it yourself?
Yeah, no, I don't have the patience for that kind of stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, and then after that, I bought the D100. That was my first digital SLR, and then I think the one I have now, which is that I'm pretty sure it's the D90. Could be the D80. It's one of the two.
I'm pretty sure. I think you said you had the D90.
It's probably the D90. Yeah.
I think you bought it after I got my D80. I remember you saying that you bought a new camera, the Nikon D90.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably is the D90.
Yeah, because I remember asking you about it. Okay, tell me about it, because I got the D80. I want to make, because I was at the time looking at a D90. I'm like, okay, am I going to upgrade to a D90? But
let me go get it. It's right over there behind me.
Yeah,
it's behind me now. It's bugging me. I'm gonna go check.
So why? Okay, Tim. Why did you buy the camera? Why did you buy the camera in the first place? Why did you want to use it? I mean, most people are like, I just like taking photos.
Just so I can do a bit of honest videos. You know what I mean? I got to the point where it was like a lot of the stuff that's recommended to me, obviously, because my interests are UFOs and things like that, you know what I mean? But a lot of the stuff that I was being recommended by YouTube was just people who were making out that, like I was saying, that the moon is this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got to the point where I thought, well, I don't want to be like, if I start a YouTube channel,
mm-hmm.
I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to be like them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd rather be honest about it, like,
Yeah, what I found though, Tim, is no matter how honest you are, there are people who would love to pick holes in that honesty.
Well, I know about the flat Earth movement. So there we go.
Well, and Tim, you know the ironic part about what you just brought up with the flat Earth movement is that a lot of them use the P900 and P1000 to try to prove that there's no curvature.
Exactly.
But what's happening though is that it's kind of counterintuitive because so they're going out to the water, like the whatever, an ocean or a sea, wherever they may be located, and they're trying to zoom in on a boat that's far away to prove that there's no curvature. The problem is that the bottom half of the boat is not visible, which proves there's curvature.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I know. I don't know whether you've ever heard of the guy on YouTube called Professor Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've seen him tear apart flat
Oh, yeah.
earth left and center. I mean, like there was a one he really it was a live stream that he did not long ago with a couple of other people. He had another guy in who was a flat earther.
Yeah.
And this guy could not absolutely nutty. Every time Dave challenged him over something, he would either go, "Oh, it's you being childish."
Yeah.
I
know who you're talking about. I don't remember the guy's name, but I know exactly who you're talking about. And yeah, I used to watch those channels a lot, like the Flat Earth debunking channels, like Simon Dan and Creaky Blinder and Fight the Flat Earth and all of that kind of stuff, because I just found them hilarious.
It is a laugh, it is funny.
Creaky Blinder especially, he's freaking hilarious. The way he makes fun of us.
What do you find most hilarious about the flat earthers though?
No. It's them making fun of the flat earthers.
No, I know what you're saying, but what about what they're trying to say is reality in terms of the whole flat earth theory?
What do I find hilarious?
Yeah, the most hilarious part of it all,
that they actually believe it.
That they believe it, but I mean, the way they try to explain to you that look, it's a reality. Look at seriously.
My God,
mean, the theories that they come up with.
Here's the problem. So it's a lot of conjecture when it comes to flat earthers, right? And that's the problem. A lot of the flat earth debunkers, like Professor Dave, for example, or like Sam and Dan and what have you, they've always said, you think you have a flat earth model. First and foremost, there are splinter groups within the flat earth societies themselves that kind of disagree with each other to begin with.
So the ones that eat
right?
other up.
So that's number one. Number two, it's one thing to say something, but when you have to go out and prove it. You can't just say it. You have to prove it.
Exactly.
And when they do try to do, the odd flat earther tries to do an experiment, they find that it's exactly what the globetards, as they call it, are saying.
Globetards.
Right? Like there was one guy, he's very big in the flat earth community. Bob Nadell, I think his name is.
Yeah, Bob Nadell,
yeah. So, everyone knows, the earth rotates X amount of degrees, 15 degrees per hour.
Yeah.
Right. So what he tried to do, and you can measure this with a gyroscope, right? So one of the flat earth members or community members went out and actually bought a ring laser gyroscope, which is about 20 grand to try to prove that there's no rotation. And if there's no rotation, there should be no movement.
Yeah.
Right. You wouldn't have that 15-degree drift, so to speak. Right. So they did the experiment, and what did they find? A 15-degree drift. So they basically proved rotation. This is what I'm saying. Another guy went out and said, okay, he set up a series of, I guess, planks with holes at the same height, right? I don't know how far down he went, but he went far enough, because according to and I'm no expert. I don't claim to be an expert in all of this stuff, the science behind all of this stuff. So just bear with me here. So he basically placed these planks far enough that if you were to shine a light through, on one end, and at the other end, you have a camera there. You should be able to see it, right? If there's no curvature.
Yeah.
So they did this, and if they had to raise the flashlight, it meant that there is an actual curvature. So they tried this experiment. They couldn't see the light. The guy had to raise the light. Oh, there it is. Again, they proved that there's a curve, right? So it's just that's what I find hilarious. For the ones that actually do try to conduct experiments, they end up proving that the Earth is not flat.
Debunk themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It amazes me that how this stuff is still a fucking reality, that people will still say that no, the wool is being pulled over your eyes about it being fucking round.
Yeah.
It just the science is there, and people will like totally ignore science until they're blue in the face.
Here's the thing. There's an even simpler way for the lay person who's not a scientist, obviously, and the majority of us aren't, right? One takeaway from all of this is simple. With the globe model, we can predict when certain events occur, such as lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, and positioning of the stars depending on the time of the year, and whatever event happened. It's all predictable based on the globe model, right? That in itself should prove to people that what they're saying is true, because it's something. If they're telling you, if you're located in this country, you're going to have a full lunar eclipse on this day, and it actually happens.
And I mean? That is something that's been been able to be predicted for fucking hundreds, thousands of years.
I know.
Through astronomy.
Even the Egyptians, once upon a time, the Egyptians used to think the world was flat, right?
Yeah.
And then they worked it out, but it wasn't. You know what I mean?
There's so many proofs out there for the layperson who doesn't understand, all the science behind it, and I'm one of them, right? You go to somewhere close to the North Pole or even the South Pole, it doesn't matter. It's the Northern Hemisphere or Southern Hemisphere. You take a camera at night on a clear night, obviously, and you record up the stars and just let it record. Keep going, and you'll see the rotation of the stars.
Yeah. And
if you go to the Southern Hemisphere, it's going to be the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what more do you need? And the best one, I got to say this, the best one, because it was on a meme and I couldn't stop laughing. One guy did a meme saying, if the Earth was actually flat, cats would have knocked everything off of it by now. So there you go. There's the biggest proof right there that the Earth is not flat. Cats have not knocked everything off.
Tim, do pigeons know if the Earth is round or flat?
Well, they go by magnetic compass, don't they? So I would say.
So how do you train a pigeon to say, like, deliver stuff and then come back?
Right. Well, I got 3 racers that live with me.
Yeah.
And I got 120 racers that don't live with me, and basically they're not racing birds; they're rescue. All the birds that I got are rescue birds. And they've all been like I don't know, disowned because they've either got lost or they haven't got back to an area in time for them to be picked up and put back in the casing and taken back to the lofts and all this sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. A lot of the pigeon loft owners won't have them back, because they fear that they're going to be hanging around with feral pigeons which carry diseases and all the rest of it, and it could spread to their loft and all the rest of it. It costs some money and then to get it all sorted out. But I take my one bird down to about a mile away from here, and it's only every Well, I'd probably do it every 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not a great flyer and all the rest of it. But I'll take him down to the river, which is a mile away from here, and I'll let him go. And within 20 minutes, I've had one of my friends, I've asked him to stay at my flat where I live, leave the window open, and within 20 minutes of being a mile away, he's back in the flat.
Wow.
So there you go. It's just, I think it's like, I think they just know where their home is, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Sort of like us, where we know how to get back home. Well, most of us do.
Yeah, most of us.
I've read a lot of theories on pigeons and stuff like that to do with like magnetic. They can you know they're drawn by the magnetic field and this, that, and the other. But other thing is people just don't realize perhaps it's just eyesight. Perhaps they just know where they, perhaps it's just like when you get in when you get in a car and you drive a mile away from your home and park up in the car park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you drive back home. You know what I mean?
Drunk people can learn a lot from pigeons.
Yeah. I've also heard that it has to do something with the magnetic field because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this is definitive by any stretch, but there's been instances where birds in general will fly away when there's an impending earthquake, for example, or what have you. So it almost seems like they can sense a disturbance in that magnetic field and just sort of, fly to safety, kind of speak, right? So I maybe it's a combination of the two, where they know where their home is, but they also know how to get back to their home regardless of which way they fly, because they can sort of hone in on that.
They're really good at recognizing people as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and feed it like feral pigeons is one thing. If you go and feed a feral pigeon in your town, you just chuck a few seeds down every other day. No matter, you could be wearing the same clothes, right? You could have a hoodie up and all the rest of it, right? And that bird will still recognize you, still come down to you, which is odd. You know what I mean? It's an odd thing, really. Even wearing different clothing.
It's you know what? It's the frequency you let off.
That's just a facial recognition thing.
Each one of us has a frequency imprint. I think, and animals are able to sort of home into that, I think. Oh, look at this. Oh, he took a picture.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, your mic's on mute.
It is the D90.
Yeah.
Jeez, my D50.
Which lens is that?
It's the one that came with it. So let's see.
Yeah, okay. So it's the f stop 18.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think that's the average lens that they usually give the D series, the f18 stop. I think that's what I have too.
Worst camera I ever bought was a Fuji film camera. It was terrible. It was the most awful thing I'd ever bought. And it's a bridge camera, but it is just so shitty. The quality of the imagery and for the amount of money I paid, I paid £399 for it, and that was when it was new. And then I went out and bought a Samsung after that as well. And
Samsung, huh? I don't think I've ever handled the Samsung.
Awful.
Yeah.
We take photographs, but it was absolute crap at taking film. Actually filming stuff properly, like terrible.
Yeah, I never. I don't think I've ever dealt with the Samsung before.
You were lucky.
Well, yeah, I had a. What did I have? Well, I had the Nikon. I've had a couple Nikons, and I did have I did start off with a Canon, but I wasn't don't think I was a big fan of the Canon. I don't know, something about it I just didn't.
I know what you mean.
And like I said, when I felt that, okay, it's time for me to buy a new camera body, I went with, like I said, I went with the D80, and I absolutely loved it. And as Alex mentions, it's a great camera. It's just you don't want to lug it everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do
that's the
weigh it.
problem. Yeah.
You don't want to lug it everywhere. I mean, you take some great pictures, and
Well, when I went to London in 2019,
mhm.
I did take my Nikon with me as well.
Did you
And
use it?
what's that? Yeah, oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
used it because I know I could have used my phone, but the problem with using a cell phone when you're driving, not driving, but because I took the tour on the double decker buses around
Mhm.
London,
Mhm.
and when you're driving around on the cell phone camera, they don't always come out so clear,
Yeah.
right? Whereas with these cameras, even if you're moving, it comes out a lot steadier.
Mhm.
So yeah, I took a lot of pictures with this camera, and I also took some pictures with my phone as well. When we went to like Highgate Cemetery, for example, I snapped all the pictures with the Nikon,
Mhm.
and you saw the pictures. I posted some of them on
Yeah.
my Facebook
Some nice
page, right?
some good
Yeah,
photos.
yeah. So it was a good experience, and got to use that camera for these kind of things, man.
So why why did you want a Nikon? What was the main reason why you wanted a Nikon? Like,
So the main
why did
reason
you want a camera?
well, because I like taking pictures as a hobby.
Yeah.
It's just one of the
Okay.
things I like to do. But
Okay.
the reason why I stuck with Nikon is because of that 35 mil that my brother had bought. Because
Mhm.
even though when I bought the D100, the lens from that film camera still worked, not fully
Yeah.
functional, like not all the functionality, but it worked. So I had a lens, and all I had to do was buy the body. And eventually, I bought a wide angle lens for the D100, which I now use for this one here, as well as a bigger lens for longer distances from Tamron. And yeah, it's just one of those things. I stuck with Nikon because of that scenario, right?
It's a good scenario.
It is.
Oh yeah, it's a good scenario. You know, I well, same reason why I bought mine, and I've employed my camera in numerous numerous amounts of paranormal investigations. And most people will say, "Well, did you capture?" I essentially I did not employ that camera to capture any paranormal sort of oddities. I just wanted to document. So take photos of an area,
Mm.
historic or whatever else, whatever we were, like say Waverly Hills. I just wanted to document the place, and through photos, and not necessarily. You're not going to capture um, things on camera on a D80 that you would on a point and shoot.
Mm.
You know, let's be honest. I mean, you do capture stuff on these cameras as well. Most stuff that most stuff is obviously easily to be explained away, sort of thing. Number one, orbs.
Yeah. Well, I've taken photos in the past on my D50,
Hmm.
and I thought I've come home and I've looked at them and I sort of think to myself, I saw all these orbs all over my pictures, and I just realized it's just light or a bug or something in the air that's reflective.
Is this a photo you're sharing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
That's one of the photos from Highgate Cemetery, one of the tombs.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh
I
yeah.
took
Okay.
with the camera, the Nikon. It's pretty. It was pretty good experience, and the pictures came out really nice, right?
Yeah.
And not that they wouldn't have come out nice with the phone as well, but in the low light settings, like here,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have,
No.
right? With my new phone, the S21 Ultra, might have had a better chance,
Mhm.
but the phone I had back then, there's no chance.
That's cool. That is cool. Yeah, like I said, and again, a lot of the photos I've taken, I've blown up and framed because they're just me. I've always been with a camera. I've been more of an artsy sort of guy with my vision, if you will. I've had a lot of people would say, well, I don't understand. A lot of photographers would go, I don't understand your positioning.
Mm.
And I go, it's because it's my positioning.
That's right.
You know, it's I feel comfortable with this angle. And they go, well, I don't understand why you take that angle. I find I like that angle.
Well, you can always turn it back around on them people that say that to you and go, well, I don't understand your angle.
Exactly. Exactly.
We've all got different angles on how shots, like, so.
You have all these trained photographers that's all they do, 365, and they'll like, well, I don't understand it. Well, you don't have to understand it. I understand it, and that's all that matters. I take a good photo, people like it, you like it, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
You don't like it, tough luck. Who cares?
I see a picture I took with my D100 before I changed it to the new one.
Yeah.
Hang on. There we go.
Ooh. Where was this?
This is San Marino.
Nice.
It's the independent country inside of Italy.
Hmm.
Right. So I was on, because there's 3 castles
Mhm.
in San Marino, the old part, which is on top of the mountain. I was on one castle, and I took a picture of this castle, which is at the sort of the third and last castle.
It's a hell of a shot.
There's all kinds. Where are all the pictures? Give people a sneak peek of all the pictures I take.
And this was on the the 100.
That one that I just showed, yes, was on the D100.
Mm-hmm.
The one, oh look, there's me in the future.
Show us some of the plane shots.
Yeah, sure. This was taken with my D90.
Wow. Good dudes. They come out real clean, don't they?
Yeah, it did. So at the airport here, I mean, they haven't done it obviously in the last couple of years because of the pandemic, but they did tours. So you could sign up and it's a free tour, and they'll take you on a bus inside the airport, and they'll have spots where you can actually get out of the bus to take pictures, right? Like by like the tail end of the runway here, for example, right where the plane was taking off. But there's also spots. Oh no, this got nothing to do with the airport. There's also spots. Yeah, just outside the airport where you can actually, like, this was right underneath. This is outside the airport, right underneath the flight path for the plane's landing. Right.
Wow.
And as you can see, it's like right there. Right. It's fantastic. This is inside the airport. Okay. Steve, we know we had someone here on the show that described jet engines.
Yeah.
And he claimed that there is no engine, it's just one giant propeller. This is the proof. This is the proof that this is an actual jet engine. This is where the hot part comes out. And this big here is the bypass.
Yeah, it's the bypass.
Okay. He just claimed it was all one giant propeller. This proves it's not. Just wanted to throw that in there because he was so sure of himself.
Come on, those
Oh my
cause chemtrails.
Yeah, but I digress. Oh, here's a fun picture. Before this is obviously before I had any gray.
This is before he yeah. I think great.
Oh yeah, look, here's yet another picture of it.
Same picture as before.
Different angle.
Oh, different
plane.
angle.
This was taken with
Joe,
the
Joe
D90.
says, Joe says you look possessed.
I am possessed.
He is. Well, we already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun times.
Yeah, I mean, some photos you capture with a lot of those cameras are amazing.
Mhm.
Like, I have so many photos. I don't even. You see, I need to get into my old hard drive to get a lot of the photos I took with my D80. I need to make an external hard drive out of it, but it's being a pain in the ass.
There is one more picture I want to share, though, Steve.
Okay, here you go.
This is a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's classic. Come on.
That is classic.
If I could get a flare camera, to be honest, somebody can pick up heat signatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of money though.
There's a lot of great cameras out there, but God, yeah, money.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you are serious about photography, I mean, money is it's like anything. It's like golf.
Yeah.
It's like, you look at the price of golf clubs.
Oh yeah, I know.
And you're gonna go, I don't give a shit. I want the top notch set of golf clubs.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy that top notch and maybe use them once a year. But I mean, a camera, a good camera,
Mm.
a fucking nice telephoto lens. Ooh. But those telephoto lenses are just as much as the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I wanted to buy one for my D80 and I'm like, holy shit, the prices. Insane.
What, the telephoto lenses?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're insane.
I think bottom was about 700.
Yeah.
Roughly. Give or
Any
take.
any accessories for DSLR cameras is
Insane.
pretty much high up there. It's insane. Like even just buying a mounted flash is insane.
Well, I bought the low light f-stop lens. I got a generic because the Nikon one was insane.
Yeah.
But the generic one works just as good, and it's like it was half the price.
Yeah.
Most people go, "Oh, I don't get generic," but you know what? I have not seen much of a difference, to be honest. A lot of the generic lenses aren't bad at all. It's the camera that does all the magic.
All right, folks. I'm gonna hit the road. I'm getting tired and sleepy here.
All right, dude. Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
We're gonna have Michelle on, and our good friend Justin's gonna join us.
Nice. It's gonna be a nice show.
All right, dude.
Okay, guys.
Have
Tim,
a good one.
nice to talk to you. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh. Yeah. So there we go. Awesome. And there's too many bashful people tonight.
Mm,
Tim,
I think we need somebody else on here, don't we?
come
as well?
on, guys, join us. Join Tim and I. The links in the chat. Good night, Alex.
With Triggs.
I know. Where's Frank? I have not. It's unusual. Usually, you see Frank. I think he's all ready for tomorrow night's show.
Probably. I think he was on about something yesterday. He was on about because I'm not sure whether he gets whether he's got full internet. You know what I mean, like unlimited, or whether he has to be careful with it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like on a mobile or whatever. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Like we usually see Frank. Sorry.
When you get Joe's your Florida Trailblazers in the.
Yeah, Joe's there. Hey, Joe. Joe's been listening for a little bit here now. Yeah, yeah. Trying to get him to come on and say hi. Yeah. We'll coach him in here.
Get in, Joe. I haven't seen Joe since probably when Gareth was doing.
Well, yeah. Well, Joe came on the show. I believe the beginning of this season. I believe Joe was on for the full show, which was cool. It's always good. Joe's a great guy. I love Joe. Joe's. I
like his little jaunts into the Florida countryside. You know?
Joe does a great job with the with showing you parts of Florida that most people do not see. Going into areas that people would be like, "Oh my God, I'm not going there. What is he, nuts?"
I was quite shocked at some of the things that he was showing. It was like you wouldn't think it was there. Like, you know, I mean, I suppose I live in the UK, so I don't really know much about that. That area.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Tim, I'm with you because there's not many swamps here in Canada either. I mean, there are some interesting areas, but not quite like the Everglades and some areas of Florida. That's for sure. But yeah, Frank usually does his Friday night fouls, right?
Yeah.
I did pop in for a little bit last night. I was unable to stay because I had an early morning today, but
yesterday, so I had to get off early, so I did stay in myself for about an hour. I think I was in there for about an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I usually when he's live, I'll pop in and pop into the panel to say hi to everyone. But I was unable to do it last night. I was on mobile, so I'm not crazy about doing this mobile. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think I've ever attempted to do the StreamYard thing mobile. Is it easy?
Well, I'm on my mobile now.
Yeah.
But I suppose it all depends what you buy as a mobile phone, really, to be honest.
True.
Low end stuff, you're not going to really get the quality picture, and the microphone isn't going to sound as good. I mean, like I've got a Logitech. My Logitech webcam on my PC is like 1080. It'll do 1080, and that's about it. But my headset, for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's to do with the motherboard, or maybe it's to do with drivers or something like that on a PC. My actual headset, when I speak to it, it's terrible, absolutely awful. And yet this is, well, not too bad. But,
yeah. Some webcams, just
mind you saying that, I am using an AMD 64-bit. So there you go. It's a bit old. Being a cheap ass, I am buying old PCs and this, that, and the other. So there you go.
Hey, whatever works, right? Whatever works, Tim. Whatever works. It doesn't matter, man. I like I said, I keep my old PCs around all the time, man. I just
they have use.
My wife's always like, get rid of it. You're not using it. I use it all the time.
I mean, like I got an i5 and an i3 as well, but I've never had anything over that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To that level, I've never had anything. Well, I don't even know what the chipsets are now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same with cell phones. Like, it's just I've I think my earliest iPhone was a 3.
Mm.
iPhone 3. I think I still have it around somewhere.
I think I'm on a motor. This is a Motorola that I'm using at the moment.
Motorola, yeah.
Not too bad.
Like, like they just recently brought out new phones, didn't they?
Mm.
Or have they been pumping out phones since? I don't know.
So, I think. Well, I remember seeing an advert for a Motorola phone last month.
Yeah.
So yeah, more than likely. But it's like this one I got you. It's only a cheap one, but it's it's not cheap. It's mid range. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I mean, well, they just recently brought their Razor back, right?
Mm.
Hey,
Oh, these folding gimmick phones.
hey, Trevor, how are you? Speaking of Mindset Podcast, Trevor's with us in chat. Good to see you, Trevor. Yeah, it's so, I don't know. I kind of. What was your first cell phone?
Mine was a Nokia 3310,
Holy shit!
and I still got it covered.
What was mine was oh god.
Well,
A micro something. I can't remember. They turned into oh, what are they now? Are they not Sony? Not Sony. I can't even remember what they turned into.
Microsoft. We want about Microsoft phone.
No, it wasn't a Microsoft phone. It was microcell. Oh God, it was like an old flip phone.
Oh, okay.
Not a flip phone. Just antenna. And then I had one of those old. Holy shit! It started with a micro something. And let me. Oh, I gotta look it up here. It's driving me nuts. Microcell. Yeah. Yeah. They were first introduced in let's see, 2000. Oh no, that couldn't have been my first cell phone. 2009. That was my first cell phone.
No, I've had quite a few cell phones, and I think my favorite of them all was my Lumia that I had.
Which one?
Nokia Lumia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a Microsoft phone, though, and in the end, they just became obsolete, didn't
Darren says he had a Centrium.
they?
I remember there was a while there I was attempting to buy one from Japan before the iPhones came out,
Yeah.
Domaco, and they were one of the first ones that would allow you to watch video and shit like that on the cell phone. But the thing about getting it and using it here in Canada, there was a lot of features I would not be able to use because
Yeah.
the system here in Canada was probably at the time like 5 to 10 years behind.
Yeah, it's inadequate. Yeah.
Like Japan was just so far ahead at one point before the iPhone came out. They were so far behind, so far ahead. The rest of the world in terms of the technology. You're like, wow, this is just insane.
There are a lot of good mobiles out there now. Like the thing is, they're overshadowed by the larger companies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like Sony and all the rest of it. They just, people. I think it's branding. It's more to do with branding than anything else. But you know what I mean?
Well, let's face it. I mean, when the iPhone came out, it was revolutionary. Like, I mean, it really made all these other companies like Samsung and everyone else to really rethink.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, remember there was no such thing as apps. With the cell phone, and then all of a sudden, here's face or iPhone using apps, and you're like, what the fuck? What the hell is that? And then, I remember, like I said, I think, my first iPhone was the 3, and I'm like, wow, this is super cool.
Back in the day, they were awesome. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's, I mean, when you look at it, what could they possibly do to forward the cell phone game now? I mean, sure, you have the flip screen and all that kind of shit, but realistically, what can they really do to up the game, Tim?
Well, that's the thing. I think it's getting. I think with regards to phones, I think the technology is being pushed now to the point of where it's. You know what I mean? It won't get any different. You know what I mean? For a long time.
Yeah.
I don't see. And well, unless you can plug in a virtual reality headset into your phone and all that sort of stuff. I think phones are just going to be like they are, well, currently as they are now for the next 5 years, maybe.
Do you think that the merge is coming soon? Where
Well, we're wearing our phone inside our flesh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God!
It's a scary thought, Tim. But do you think it's coming soon?
I hope not, but it's like with what you hear in the press and what you read about, and with regards to all of that stuff, I think it's going to become a reality. But I got to be honest with you, I don't see it happening for at least another 20 to 30 years.
I mean, the thought of not having to carry a phone anymore, where it's all ingrained in your brain. You get a phone call, it's like, oh, hi, how are you?
When you're born, and they just get a syringe with a load of solution in it and a chip, and they just blast it into you, like, and then you're getting phone calls at the age of 1 year of age, like,
Sign me up for the T800 body with my mind. Exactly. Exactly, Trevor. I mean, it's sad, but the reality is there. I mean, the technology now is just like, wow.
Well, I think maybe it's part of our evolution, though. You know what I mean? Perhaps that's what it is. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it's something that we're destined to do.
So you really think that a part of our evolution is to merge with artificial intelligence?
Well, we already have, though, haven't we? That's the thing.
Well, yeah, I guess, but I mean, not to the point where the cell phone is now integrated in, and I mean, let's face it, when that day comes, when that time comes,
you can browse the internet by just touching your one eyelid.
yeah, but I mean, let's face it, there won't be anything such as privacy anymore. Not that there is now, but I mean there is somewhat, but I mean then it's completely gone.
A lot of people out there are edging towards it, and they want it. And I'm one of these people that's like, well, I'm not sure. I don't think I do, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's got a lot to do with privacy. It's got a lot to do with all that stuff. It's like what Musk has been talking about and all, with AI, and it seems a little bit dodgy to me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not something I want to partake in.
No, I hear you. Yeah, no, I know it's it's a scary thought, and resistance is is it the old
We're all,
saying is resistance futile.
we're all being catalogued by our own governments and given a name and a number. You know what I mean? And,
Well, I mean, you look at DNA, for instance, and
yeah,
you look at these heritage companies that say, look at if you sign over your DNA to us, we could tell you, all about your family background,
yeah,
and in small lettering it says, if you agree, we will uh, co-own your
yeah,
DNA.
yeah, exactly.
What? You're signing over your DNA to co-ownership?
Yeah,
Screw you.
yeah, it's
No,
like
thank you.
pretty dodgy, isn't
Oh, it's beyond dodgy.
it?
It's beyond. It's to the point where you're afraid to go to some of these. Like here in Canada, there's a place called Life Labs,
Yeah,
and basically, whenever you go see the doctor,
yeah,
and he says, okay, well, I need tests done. I need to get a blood test done, and I need to determine this. You go to these fucking Life Lab places. They draw blood and do the tests or whatever else, and then they send all the results to the doctor. But you're like, wait a sec here. I'm going to a fucking third party to get my fucking test, my blood drawn. What do they do with the blood?
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, are they copying my DNA?
Growing you in a lab
You
somewhere.
know, before you know it, you've got identity theft, and there's nothing you can do about it because some other dude's got your fucking DNA. I chuckle loosely on that, but I mean that's a reality.
Mm,
You know, wouldn't that be really scary that you can't prove that you're yourself?
mm, very.
And it's happened. It's happened. There are people out there that have identity theft happen to the point where no matter what they did, they couldn't prove that look at that's me.
I
Somebody
feel
stole my information.
I was born in the 70s. I was born in like 76 and lived
You
through
mean
the
you mean you mean you're younger than I am?
um what what year were you born? Was it
69.
1999? Yeah. Oh, wow. Same as my brother then.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's like I've gone through all I've gone through different I've gone through the 80s and 90s and the 2000s, and I just think that the world now is a very hostile,
Mhm.
you know, with regards to all that stuff to do with data protection and what it's like wrong thing and this sort of stuff and all the rest of it, and it's like it's changed so much, and it's got a lot. Obviously, it's got a lot to do with the technology and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's just been exploited. You know what I mean? Been really, really heavily exploited, like to the point of where it's pretty disgusting, to be honest.
Well, what if Tim, what if they go to you, look at, say for some odd reason you apply for a new job, and a part of the process of being hired is, well, we have to draw blood and to store your DNA.
Yeah. Uh,
What would you think about that?
I turn it down. I just say no, no, thank you.
It's scary because you got all these things out there that, for instance, excuse me. Oh, you give us you give us your blood DNA, and we can tell you that you're going to get this in the future, like say like colon cancer
Yeah,
or
yeah.
prostate cancer or whatever. Oh,
But
but the
I, I got to be honest though. I don't think I'd want to know.
I
You
think a
know,
lot of people are like that, but at the same time,
Mm.
The fact that, these companies now, because they pay benefits,
Mm.
will go, look at, you want to work for us, we
Yeah.
have to take your DNA. We have to store your DNA. Scary.
Yes. I don't know. It's just so
Trevor,
weird.
Trevor, I know. Trevor says this. I'm intrigued, Trevor. What do you mean? What did you have to do in 1994 to work at Dempster's? What, draw blood? What? Drug test? I mean, people.
I got to go into the little man's room.
Yep, go for it. Go for it, Tim. It's obviously drug testing and all sorts of shit for companies. But I mean, the thought that these companies will take it a step further and ask for your DNA, a part of your employee profile, they have to have your DNA on file. And we all know nowadays, your profile is online. A lot of these fucking companies keep your profiles online, but obviously hidden. I was just saying, Tim, that a lot of these companies keep your profiles online.
Oh yeah.
And hidden.
Sitting there. And the other thing is they sell your data as well. You know what I mean? Certain companies sell your data to other companies, and they sell it on to other companies. It just gets passed around. I often wonder why I get so many I get emails about like hair dye or all that sort of stuff, and it's like I've never even entertained even coloring my hair. And why am I having these emails? You know what I mean? What is going on? Why are these people emailing? And it's not just that; it's other companies as well. You know what I mean? Or once they get hold of an email address,
Mm-hmm.
it's constant harassment. You know what I mean? It's like
Exactly.
advertisement. I don't want to buy your product. Why are you bothering me? Why are you forcing it upon me when you could just put adverts out there?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe then I would be more interested in it. You know what I mean? It's like it's like as if you I don't know how to put it. You're just being forced, and it's like you're being forced. Every time I open my email, my Gmail account,
Mm-hmm.
there's like 150 different companies.
Yeah.
And I got have all sent me emails in the space of like about 7 days or 12 days. And I got one email from somebody who I know. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I've gotten to the point where I just feel like just deleting my fucking Gmail account. Hold on. I think we've awoken the giant. Hello, sir.
Hello. Am I not on the video again?
We don't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good show. This is
show. It's about time. How you doing, Trevor?
Oh, not bad, not bad. I was just trying to get my daughter to bed, but I needed a break from that. She's with her mommy right now upstairs. So Saturday night, 8-year-old girl. Anyways, yeah. So you're talking about all that DNA, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm just my camera should come up any second here. I don't know what's going on. It did this last time, didn't it? Oh, there we go.
Well, we got a picture. We got a picture of you. Yeah.
I think that happened last time. But yeah, so you're talking about that, and I remembered. I only worked at it was at Dempster's in London here, Ontario.
Yeah.
And they had a big factory downtown, and a friend of mine got me a job there. And yeah, they're like, okay, if you want the job, I had to provide a urine sample, and this is gross. I didn't know how to do this, but I'm like, you had to take a fecal sample to give. Yes, and there's
Are
a
you
lab.
kidding?
Yeah, there's a lab
Fecal.
downtown. Yes, there's a lab downtown London, and I couldn't believe this. I'm like a urine sampling, I guess, but then I'm like, how do I do this? So you go into the lab, they give you all the instructions and the procedure on how to do it. And it's like Dynacare Lab, I think. That's pretty popular here in Canada. I think it was Dynacare, and
Mhm.
so you get all these instructions, and I'm like, I don't want to go get too much into the details, but I had to give them a fecal sample and a urine sample to get a job. I don't know at the time what it was 1994. It was like, I don't know, $10 an hour or some. It was just, I only worked there for 3 weeks. It was, the guys there were brutal, but yeah, it made, you're talking about that. I'm like, I gave that. So obviously not, it wasn't a blood sample, but I mean, wow, that's
But
going back
still,
1994. I did that. It was just right after high school. I was just kind of whatever, just going from a job.
dude,
to job.
we're talking about a bread company.
Yeah, it was a bread.
And
bread.
they wanted a fecal matter.
Yes.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And my friend who had started there, I don't know, years before I did, he said they used to have the doctors come in and always give them a physical, and like it was just, I'm like, just to make bread. I don't understand what the I was like, okay. I ended up I walked out at like 2 a.m. one time from there. It was a bad job. It wasn't such a bad, you could eat all the bread you wanted. They literally, I'm like, if a loaf of bread comes down the line, people are like, hey, if you like it, looks good, take a bite out of it and throw it in the garbage bin. And I was like, yeah, right. It's the guys who do it in front of supervisors. And I'm like, okay, so all these loaves of malt bread and raisin cinnamon would come down. I take like a bite fresh off the line. Anyways, that was it only lasted 3 weeks because there were a bunch of roughnecks were there. I just not like that. So, but yeah, you're talking about all this, the privacy and DNA and I don't know, man. It's made me think back to 94. Now, here's another thing. You're talking about privacy, and I just read this today. It was on Rebel News about the government. Okay, everyone knows there's sanitation stations, right? You flush your toilet, it goes to a sanitation plant. Yeah. Well, now in Canada, Steve, you might have heard this, or you're going to hear this. It's coming out now that they're testing for COVID in the sanitation plants for your and they're able to do this, and it's
I'm okay. Look at I've had COVID, so it's over and done with.
I know, and it's kind of it's interesting though. Like, but they're like,
I know, okay, I hear you.
But it's like, what else? Like, they're testing for these things, and if, where can this lead from there? And should they be able to test for? Like, they can test for anything. They test for drugs. What's coming? They want to know, and the government's compiling all this. And I'm thinking, why can't they just do whatever they have to do?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. They're nefarious. They have all sorts of fucking tests and everything else that they can do that we don't know about, and they spring upon you. Oh yeah, by the way, we've got this here. We just perfected it. Bullshit. You've had it in the plant. You've had it in the works for several years. It's scary, but it's the truth.
Privacy.
It's all. I just want a job, and you want me to fucking take a shift for you?
Yeah. Well, I want a job too, Steve. I can't work. Obviously the rules for truck driving in Canada.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't drive. I can't. Or for
So how does that go now? Like, I mean, if you can't. Okay, so let me guess. Obviously, you're not vaccinated, right?
I'm not vaccinated.
And so that's giving you limitations as to where you can drive.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I want my CDL license. I want to drive. And opportunities are coming up, and now I can't. Well, the reason why, because I phone around to recruiters, and they're like, phone around to different companies, and they're like, oh yeah, they're even saying, okay, you can drive within Canada,
Mhm.
but they still want all of their employees to be vaccinated. And I have phoned around and I'm like, nobody's wanting to hire. Like, I could drive in Canada. I could have an 18-wheeler or a
Mhm.
lorry driver, however, people in UK listening there. A lorry driver. Well, Ben used to say lorries, and I'm like, what the hell's a lorry? And he's like, it's
Yeah.
like, then he's like, 18-wheeler. Yeah. So I can't cross border because you have to have a minimum of 2
Yep.
COVID vaccinations. And
2
here's the
vaccines,
thing
yeah.
that truck drivers are talking about here. It's like you can have 3, you can have 4, 5 COVID vaccinations, and you can still catch and transmit it.
Well,
So,
let's
I don't
let's be
get
honest,
that.
Trevor, let's be honest. Like I said, I knew from the beginning with these vaccines that the transmissibility is it's still going to be there.
Yeah.
And that's in the beginning when they were saying, look at, okay, get your fucking vaccine so you won't you'll save your loved ones who's got a weakened immune system. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, you know what? Look it. I'll be honest. I'm vaccinated. I did it for myself. I just look it. I no controversy. I don't give a shit if you're vaccinated or if you are. I don't hold any grudges towards anybody. I look it. It was a personal choice, but when you want to when you want to like lie to people and say, look it, get vaccinated. And they tell you something happened there. That was weird.
I'm still here.
Something. Okay, so I lost my train of thought.
I am listening. I'm just once in a while the camera it seems to want to work, but then doesn't. So I don't know. Anyways, you can hear me. So
no, but anyways, I look at the reason why is because I remember a good friend of mine had gotten really sick, and this is before the COVID thing kicked off. This was like December 2019.
Right.
Before this is when something weird's going on in China. We don't know what it is. And then I don't even know why we're talking about COVID, but whatever.
I know.
My buddy in late January, before any of this kicked off, he had a terrible terror. He got really, really sick. He went into work. He was fine. He left work. He was feeling sick. He went home. He said, I'm going to sleep it off. Just let it, sweat it out, whatever. It got worse.
Right.
He went into emergency and they said, they couldn't figure out what the problem was. They just assumed it was just a really, really bad strain of the flu.
Right.
They had to put him on a ventilator, and once they put him on the ventilator, you might as well say goodbye. With a lot of cases, and that's what happened with him. It's really sad. 48, fit as an ox. He had diabetes, but they said the diabetes was not an issue. It was a non-issue here.
Right.
Which was really weird. And I'm like, okay, was that fucking COVID? When we did not know what it was.
I don't know. It could have been,
but whatever.
I just say
fuck it all. I don't think there should be restrictions. I'm sorry. In your case, I don't think there should be restrictions.
I've maintained that from the beginning. I've always look, Steve, now you know how bad it's been in Canada for masks. Mm-hmm. I have never worn a mask, and I still go out once or twice a week. I'd go to Walmart. Now I got escorted out of Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
They didn't like me there, and Home Hardware, but I was still able to get into every Walmart, every grocery store, didn't wear a mask. One time I was kicked out in BC when we lived out there in a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't last long because people were making a stink at the door. Like, I need to get in, I need to buy food. So, but my thing is, I've still went out. I'm I'm kind of fat. I'm I'm almost 50.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
Almost. Come on, Trevor. I'm
Almost.
50 fucking 2 here.
I'll be 50 soon, and I'm like, I don't know. I think it should be voluntary. Just like I worked in a hospital for 20 years, and I never had to. I never took the flu vaccine or anything. So,
hey, Joe, how are you?
Hello, how you doing, Trevor?
Well, your audio's a little sparkly there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Son of a gun. How about now?
Still the same.
but okay. So I had something else that I wanted to lead into. With that
Go ahead, Trevor. Go ahead.
Is that my end being fuzzy?
No,
okay,
that's
the COVID
Joe.
thing.
Let Joe
I mean, I guess that was a bit of a sidebar for us. Like, I mean, you had it. I might have had it. I was puking a lot, but in the summertime, I don't know. Here's what I was trying to go with. Because I said in June 2020, people laughed at me. I said they're going to come out with vaccine passports. Mm-hmm. And of course, what they do. And then I said they're going to come out with some kind of perhaps like a microchipping or some kind of information that's all
non-existent now.
Well,
these fucking vaccine passports.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it did come out. What I'm saying is, when you're talking about the privacy and whatnot, is eventually everything's going to be on something like that. And then people like myself, Steve, I'm not going to be able to hold out. Like, I can't go without making money.
Well,
and
obviously,
my parents' business went under because they did a lot of work in Oakville. Well, they can't get in. They couldn't get into Oakville, so they closed down Christmas 2020. And anyways, yeah. So I mean, it's just this is where it's going, and I mean, I just feel like like you're saying, like the privacy, what's the next level of cell phone?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Privacy is going to be non-existent. It already is. I mean, as much as people like to think that it's there, it's not really there.
It's not there.
Exactly, Joe.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, Joe. Can you guys hear Joe okay?
Yeah.
There's fuzz. Cool. I don't know if
there's a little bit of fuzz on your end though, Joe. I can hear you, but
I don't know if it's me.
No, I think it was.
I won't try to touch it.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, I was just, I don't know if that was me. I was just adjusting some knobs here.
Oh, we can't hear you now, Joe.
I don't know.
You muted your mic there for some reason.
Did I?
No, Joe. There you go.
Can you hear me better?
It sounds a little better, yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to fix it, but what can I do?
Oh, there you go, man. So how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Now Trevor disappeared. So
Trevor.
I'm here,
but there. His camera's not on, so he's still there.
The camera keeps blinking. I don't know what the hell. I press. It says you're in the show. I'm like, I don't know. I'm too ugly to be on the show, I guess. I don't know.
We got some clarity here. Ooh, Joe, talk.
I'm here.
There you go. Now you sound clear. There you go.
Perfect. Yeah, it's been a while. I had to set this up. I want to join in with you guys. Say hi. I was watching you guys earlier. It's been an amazing show. Thank you for staying on. Good to see you guys.
Hey, it's look. We're having a little bit of a mindset reunion here. What's going on?
Yeah, I saw Trevor just logged on. I was like, Trevor. I heard Trevor's voice in the kitchen. I was like, I got to get back in the studio here.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
So how you doing? Everything good? You're a busy guy, man.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy just working on stuff, working on what I can to keep busy and productive. Make my videos. Had an interesting exploration today. I messaged you earlier about it, so we'll get into that future episode or something. But yeah,
absolutely, man, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, just doing good, man. All I can do, just try and be positive. How about
Well,
you guys? Keeping up with the Nocturnal Frequency show? It's been going good.
well, thank you. We try our best, try to stimulate the minds as
Yeah,
best
you
as
you really
possible.
are. You're stimulating my mind. The guests you're having on are incredible lately. You know.
Yeah, well, tomorrow night show should be pretty interesting. Michelle's we enjoy her. She's pretty cool. And our mutual buddy, our good buddy Justin Del Rio is going to come on to guest co-host with us with
Very
Michelle.
cool.
So we're going to do that.
I have a possible guest lined up for you too.
Really?
I think you guys will like talking to him. I just met him, but I just feel I think he'd be a good part of your show to have on as a guest. So
Well,
we'll see how it goes. I'll hook you up. You'll feel him out, So what's this going on? You guys got like a kind of like a free chat going on tonight, like a
it's just
freestyle.
completely open. Just look at everybody.
I know
loves
you've
to
been
talk.
chatting for hours too. So
Yeah. I'm still trying to get Tim to play his keyboards there, but he's not.
what's going on? Hey, Pigeon Whisperer up there. Trevor, are you there?
I'm here. I'm
Good
here.
to see you, man. Good to talk to you.
I can't get the camera to work.
He
Well,
can't get his
it's good to
camera.
hear you. It's good to hear your voice.
Our CMP is I don't know,
Yeah.
shutting me down somehow. I don't know.
They've shut
I
him
don't
down.
But
It's been a crazy time, and it's good to talk to Trevor because I haven't talked to him and we did our
yeah,
shows
yeah.
together.
a while since I guess Gareth passed
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been tough since then. But man, Trevor, I feel like I want to apologize. I feel like we sort of had a little bit of falling out.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Can I say wait before
COVID-
you guys get into that? Hold on a second. Before you guys get into that, I want to say, I want you to both know, Joe and Trevor, you guys are pinnacle parts of mindset. You're both Gareth's friends, and you guys are important. Never forget
you.
that, no matter what. And
Yeah.
you work better as a team.
We do, man. The thing is, and actually, what happens is just opinions divide everybody.
Well,
never
obviously, but don't.
We never used to be that way, and I feel like more than now than ever, something's overcoming everybody. We're so divided, and you can't separate yourself from that. And it just overtakes you sometimes.
Well, I have found that COVID has drawn some lines with people.
Yeah,
and
it has.
From
sucks,
the beginning,
man.
I've always said everything should have been voluntary. If I had been the president of the United States or prime minister of Canada, I would have said, "You want to get a shot? Go ahead, get it. You want to wear a mask? Go ahead." It's up to the individual. And I don't.
Crazy now.
I think
it.
I'm
probably.
I think I think what hits us hard is Gareth.
Mm.
All of us.
Yeah.
It hits us hard how Gareth unfortunately left us. And I think that we'd all like to take that back. We'd all like to say, "Look, Gareth, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
yeah.
No
matter
go
what.
back in time,
I know he had underlying issues. I know that, but still, I mean, could it have saved him? I mean, I think so, but I'm not going to draw on that.
Me either.
The main point being here is it's affected us all, and made us really think about, we all have our sort of stance on how that played out. But you know what? Fuck COVID.
Fuck it.
Fuck COVID. Go back before the COVID.
That for over 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I'm not a denier. Now people lambasted Gareth as you go on that fucking Reddit.
I know. What a fucking joke. I was so pissed off
him.
about that.
You can't even. I tried replying, and people they just swarm all over you like a bunch of ants. And it's
I know.
Look, Gareth. He's like, okay, there's probably something called COVID. There's probably he didn't deny it, but he was like, look, he didn't. If for whatever reason, if you want to get the shot, go ahead. If you don't Don't look,
Yeah.
look, I've lived my life. I go out several times a week. Like I said, I've never worn a mask. I don't have the COVID shot, but that's
So,
me. But the
so
thing is,
Trevor
here's
here.
my ability to make
Yeah.
money and go. I can't see my family who lives in Michigan, okay,
Damn.
because of the fucking border being shut down. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
when people have taken safety over freedom, you just
I never thought about before until like you just said, Steve. Like when it affects you personally, with Gareth, it's like then you start taking his opinions seriously, and then that's what happened with Trevor. It's like you try to enforce what you think could change something or make something different. And I was like, Trevor, I was trying to kind of talk to you about it, and then like it just kind of went a different way. So yeah, man, don't worry about it, man. It's cool. Well, let's not even get into it. We're on a radio show right now. We're like getting all nuts.
We're having fun, and you know what the thing is?
That's just I'm salty, and I've had 2 years of my life taken away. I can't be a truck driver. I can't earn my 8-year-old daughter. Okay, I'm living on fucking welfare, guys.
Yeah.
My opinion came from hurt. Like I didn't want to lose you. I didn't want to lose anybody else.
I'm losing. Like I've lost everything. My parents' business is gone.
Sucks,
Shitty,
dude.
gone because I can't work in Oakville. I
So,
can't. I
dude,
haven't seen my dad. I haven't not seen my parents since 2018 when I went in the summertime and visited them, and then
where are they in Michigan?
they're in Port Huron.
Port Huron. Okay.
Well, I mean, don't you know where that is?
Yeah.
Just to go over the border.
Steve,
It's over the border from you, man. I mean, you're down that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an hour away. I'm not going to dox myself and say exactly where I am. But I mean,
I know where you're at. We're tracking you right now,
I
dude.
moved from BC. I moved from BC because my dad said he's dying, and I'm like, I'll move back here. That's the only way I can get over is if my dad dies. I can go over to the border, okay, and I come back. Now I still got to sit in my house for 14 days. I'm like, what? Anyways, I'm completely like.
I guess it's like there's times like today where I'm out exploring and there's experience I want to share with Gareth, and I can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to share this with you because I know you would like it. Talk about it. You know what I mean? And he's not there anymore. That's the hard parts, right? So I don't know if you can relate to that or not, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Like I was out today exploring. I did some paranormal kind of stuff, and Gareth always asked me, what do you come across like out there strange, you know what I mean? And so I was like, man, this would be perfect to tell him. And usually it never crosses my mind, but just sometimes here and there it comes up in my head.
Oh, I know, all the time. Like I'm thinking, shit, I'd like to go to Roswell. I would have liked to have done
exactly. Do you remember that, dude? Yeah,
I'd like to have. Now I met Gareth and I hung out for just a night in Las Vegas, and it was awesome. And I mean, we planned a trip. We were going to do like I should know this. I'm the Bigfoot guy. Oh Christ! The place in California. I'm just I can't even think where the Gimlin Patterson film was made.
Oh fuck, man! Don't make me think like this. Come on.
But yeah. Anyways, what I'm doing, Steve,
head out there, Gareth. Gareth was like, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna ride horseback and go out in a tent, and he's like, no.
He hated tents.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, these are things. Yeah, and I think about these things. I go, damn, And the last 2 years, like Ben hasn't been able to come over to the United States to do any kind of research with Roswell. Or if he ever came over, and
Ben Jones.
It's just been a terrible time for everybody.
Kudos to you, and Alex, everybody for just keeping the show going for what you guys are doing. It's got to be hard, right? Just keeping forward.
Well, it's hard, but at the same time, look at.
I mean, it's your passion,
I look at it this way, in terms of Gareth and the mindset family and all that kind of shit. I was not as sort of prominent as say you, Joe, and Trevor, and some of the other people, Ben, and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I did talk with Gareth several times. Probably several times during the week, each week. behind the scenes. Him and I would talk quite often. In fact, we were talking about putting together a new show.
Oh, incredible! He was always so creative.
You know? And oh, look at we've got trouble here. Hey, Matt.
Oh shit, dude! He always.
How you doing, Matt?
How you doing, Matt?
I'm in my second-hand bed. Look, that somebody else's head, probably before they died, was like rested against this. Yeah,
your headboard looks like
I believe in recycling. I believe in not having the jab and recycling.
You guys, I gotta say, all you guys inspire me. Beyond Gareth, I mean, just the creativity, just to keep going on and just doing your passions. I love it. I'm feeding off it. It's helping me. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Well, you're doing a good job, Joe. Don't underestimate you. I mean, fuck, you're doing a great job, buddy. You're doing. I love the fucking videos you're throwing up.
That's awesome, man.
So some of the places that you're showing people that people will not go to.
Yeah,
I mean, just like Matt with some of the places
Matt's
he's been into.
Oh, Matt's incredible. He goes to some incredible places. I wish
Matt's been into fucking awesome places.
But you could be on an island sometimes, so that's how it is. You're just like doing your thing, but you don't know who's really watching sometimes. So, it's cool to meet fans and stuff like that. They really give back to you. So how you guys doing tonight?
Awesome.
Yeah. I know you've been doing good. How you doing, Matt? What's going on tonight, man? What the hell are you doing over there?
A police incident with violence kicked off, so that's got to get dealt with. I've just had to make a police report about it. So yeah. So
boy.
Anyway, that's just like thrown me. Otherwise, I would have come and done this on the proper camera, but I want to go to bed. But I just thought I'd pop in and say hello and give you a few words about Gareth because you were talking about Gareth. So
yeah.
And hello Tim, by the way. I don't see you online very much. You're sort of like lurking around.
The pigeon whisperer I have here.
That's it. That's all. Just 3 times recently.
Yeah. I can't get him to play his keyboard.
Oh, back and I had to put it in the cupboard away from my friend.
That's probably because it's like Experiment 4, that Kate Bush song. If he starts playing too many notes, the fucking people will start dying. Zombies will start rising from the grave. Yeah.
But the main thing is, no matter what, fuck what anybody thinks about the jab or to get the jab or not to get the jab. But the point is, you guys were all gathered from somebody like Gareth, and look, it doesn't matter. You guys are like family, and you gotta.
I hate my family though.
I
don't know. I don't, but I know. Yeah. I don't know. It's really been a shitty 2 years for me. I gotta say, it's still a shitty.
Well,
every day I'm looking at right now. I'm CDL school. I was looking up the truck driving schools, and I phoned them, and I'm like, hey, I'd be your goddamn best driver, and they're like, nah, you gotta have the shot. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like I could make.
Why don't you just do it?
I could make it, man. I can't.
He doesn't want to. I mean,
no, I'm not taking that shot. You gotta fucking hold me down to take that thing.
Well, I can't believe they're holding you to that. That's kind of crazy.
Exactly. I worked in a hospital. I worked in a hospital for 20 years, and in that 20 years, not one time did I get an influenza shot. I didn't get anything.
Me either, dude. I never got any kind of.
I've never had a flu shot.
Never, ever. And has actually, the doctors, they make you feel bad too. Like, oh, you're not getting a flu shot.
Get your flu shot.
2020. Did any of you guys feel bad if you had the flu and you went out grocery shopping and went, oh, geez, I wonder how many people I'm going to kill today? Because I walked outside into the grocery store and I have the flu. I worked in a hospital.
And that is so fucking true. That is so true.
DayQuil. because working on the hospital on the weekend, you don't call in sick. There's only me and another porter for the entire hospital.
How many
So-
times?
so-
How many
Buddy,
times when you've had the flu did you quarantine for 5 to 10
Never,
days?
never. I'll tell you, twice in my life. When I was 24, I stayed home for 1 week in January,
Yeah.
and when I was 38, the whole month of January,
Mm.
so it's just like 10 years ago, I stayed home like almost like every other day. I was puking, I was shivering, but I'm like, I worked in a delivery room at that time with babies.
Yeah.
And every other day I'm like, I don't feel good, I'll take some Dayquil, I'll go into work. And I never once thought to myself, geez, am I killing grandma or am I killing babies today because I went to work? No, I never felt. And how many times did you go to a friend and they're like, oh man, I got the flu, and you're like, okay, let's go for a beer. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the only thing that's got me in here. I have friends that were fired from hospitals here in London because they just were like, look,
It's so bizarre because in the
Look,
States here in Florida, there's like, it feels like nothing's ever gone on.
you know what?
A year ago
yeah.
we were in lockdown, but now it's like there's like no one's wearing a mask. It's like no big deal. You know,
I think Florida was one of the
Crazy.
first states pretty much to just say, screw it all. Like, I mean,
But now I've been
no
kinda going-
restrictions.
I've been kind of going out like nothing's ever happened. It's like, what happened? What the hell happened? Like the past 2 years, like,
Yeah.
and now it's
Here-
this. Now it's normal. Now it's, but the Trevor's telling me it's like he can get.
Look
anything normal
at
going up there.
I had it, and yeah, okay, I'm triple vax, but whatever. It was just a fucking cold. It was
Yeah.
just a cold. It was
But
just
you
a
got
fucking
it. Here's
cold.
the thing, you had 3 vaccinations and you still got it. That's why I'm like, why should I?
But
get it?
I know the vaccine. Look at let's be honest here. The vaccine is not a fucking cure. It's
No.
it's to prevent the whole point is to prevent people who have underlying conditions a buffer. That's all it is. It doesn't mean you're not going to fucking spread it. I mean, I'm still going to spread it. But the thing is, for you personally, it acts as a buffer if you have, like, say, some sort of underlying. I knew a lady I worked with. She, and this will freak you out. She had the first vaccine, and she got every fucking side effect that you can think of from that first shot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she started getting these unstoppable nosebleeds.
Jesus.
Holy crap!
You know why? You know what happened? The vaccine, the RNA technology in the vaccine set off her fucking what is it? Leukemia.
Shit.
Right? She had leukemia, but it was dormant, but this thing set it off because
Shit.
fucking, if anyone knows any about RNA technology and how they were using it in fighting cancers before these viruses and all this kind of shit for colds and whatnot. I mean,
He's COVID right there.
Almost got COVID. Oh,
bless you, sir.
That's a
Hey.
cold. I've had
Hey,
it for a
what's-
week.
When you sneeze in public now, do you feel ashamed? You know, like, I can't,
Oh well,
you know.
people. There are people that make you. It's like
I think I always do, but I usually tell people it's usually hay fever. That's what
Yeah,
it normally is.
allergies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
how many
Yeah.
times I've been at a grocery store and I've swallowed the wrong way, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, oh shit, this thing will last 20 seconds. I'm like, it's like a cat puking, and I'm like, I've done it in a superstore here. I don't know if they have them in the States.
Yeah,
but
the culture
I'm like,
has
holy
changed.
shit.
You know, for real.
Oh, huge. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but,
everything
like,
has changed.
How many
I've had
parents
people
bring
fight
their
me in a
kids?
store, though, okay, I've had a woman screaming at me, "Get the hell out of here! You put," because I wasn't walking down the arrows the right way. Okay, I got like, it's been so.
What's going on with China? They're still like a major lockdown
Fuck,
too.
man,
Oh,
China. Now it's
huge.
gonna happen here in China. They
Huge
call it
lockdowns.
China.
No, I mean,
It's
talking
gonna
right
happen
now.
here.
They're like a major lockdown, but the rest of the world is like opened up. What's going on with that? You know,
Oh God. Yeah, Shanghai. Like, I mean, the
I
people.
was
screaming.
wondering about that. Just off topic, a little bit.
Oh, they're just screaming for food, and it's
I-
gonna come
I
to
heard
Canada.
that they're actually building gates around people's apartments where they can't even go outside.
They're
Yeah.
fucking like
That's how
literally
bad it is,
fucking
dude. It's crazy.
locking them in with.
Yeah, they are.
Well, what scares me, Joe, about that is that I remember in February 2020, I was living in BC, and I remember thinking, Jesus Christ, China's really locking down. I'm like, oh, it's not going to come here, is it? Well, then March kind of rolled around, March 2020, and then the beginning of April, we locked down in Canada, BC at least.
So
for
in
15
Canada,
days.
in Canada, it's pretty strict there right now. Still,
Oh,
It still is. No, like,
still is.
It's still
how about the
brutal
UK,
here.
Matt? What's going on over there?
Yes, Scotland and Wales were hanging on, but the thing is, again, it's more about politics than it is about
Yeah.
science, because
Yeah.
they were just like trying to be different. Like England had said, we know there's no point in keeping this going, so we're going to let you can go around and do whatever you want. And Wales like, no, we're different, we're special. And then Scotland's like, yeah, we're more special. So they were just trying to prove a point. They're just literally trying to hang on to prove a point. And this is it. I mean, like now we know. And Gareth, we talked about this stuff, and I think we kind of said we could get into trouble for what we're saying here, because there was a lot of censorship going on. But I mean, we said you're better off getting a natural immunity. And you weren't allowed to say that. You had to have a vaccine.
Yeah.
Now everybody says, oh, they only work for 3 months. They're not very good. You're better off having natural immunity. Like we were talking about this 2 years ago,
Wow.
and we were talking about a load of things, and like the masks, they don't really work, and all this sort of stuff. And they were saying that, you can pass on the thing even if you had the vaccine. We were talking about this stuff, and we were like mocking the fact that people were kind of like sheep, and just listening to the government just doing whatever they want. We were just literally like going two fingers to the kind of what people were saying about it. So I totally understand Gareth's kind of opinion about, well, I'm not getting a vaccine because, I mean, God knows what's in it. You're going to get damaged. There's going to be all sorts of things that happen if you have the vaccine, and this could be all sorts of things that happen if you don't have the vaccine too. But
I can't work.
Yeah, ultimately, slowly and surely now they've said the masks don't work. So that was bullshit. But the thing is, they knew that right from the word go. They knew this because, I mean, masks have been tested many, many times over the years. So then it's like the vaccine. They said, no, this is really great. It'll really work. It'll really work. And there's no side effects, no side effects. They knew what the side effects were. They were coming in all the time. They were logging them. They weren't talking about them. They would never tell people that it affects different people in different ways.
Yep.
Based on your blood group. They never talked about that, and now what's happening? They're saying, people are getting heart attacks from it. There's all sorts of, there's a whole list of things that have happened to people, and so what's the purpose of it all? It's because
like
it was
any
a
medication, right?
massive transfer of money to the bloody, to the
It's a cultural conditioning.
Pharmaceuticals.
A conditioning too, a cultural conditioning too. Like you have to get this, you have to be in place. You have to feel like I'm getting the vaccine so that I'm good. But you're just going off what people are telling you or what you're seeing in the news or all that kind of stuff.
Well, I got no problem. I've never had any problem with anyone getting it. Like my parents were in their late 70s.
You personally, Trevor, are just violated against your rights.
Well,
yeah. That's the whole point with Trevor.
I can't, Joe. Like now, I walk like a fucking king the last 2 years when I go into a Walmart and I go get my groceries. I've had people like, I've had a woman say, I'm not. Oh my God, I'm not walking down that aisle because he's there. And I look back at that woman and I like, Christ, I was gonna like, fuck you. Like,
come on, it's even better if the aisles have the fucking markings on them, the arrows. You're going the wrong way.
Again, I said, I don't know. I'm not. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I had people yelling at me. I'm like, this is where it's at. And I can't work.
Yeah.
People, you know how frustrating it is because I do have my parents, like the business went under. And then my dad's like, you got to get a job. And I'm like, I it's so hard because I'm like, I struggle against my principles. And then I struggle when I I just went to Walmart for $73. I got 2 bricks of cheese, a jug of milk, 3 liters of juice, and some pizza and some strawberries. That was it. Like, I mean,
Where's
and this
where's
is
the
where it's all
science?
going, you know.
Where's the
Exactly.
science that
This
says
last
that
2
these?
years, this last
Where's
2
the
years
science that
just
says
cost
that
us.
these two lines that they put on the floor that you're talking about? Where's the science that says that the
Exactly.
particles that are coming out of your mouth are going to stay running in those lines? They're not going to go whoosh, 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 whoosh to the left and to the
Well,
right and swirl around in the air because, I mean, no, the lines mean that if you walk
Well,
along those lines, that the particles are going to be moving in a conveyor belt and therefore it's not going to affect people as much because the particles are moving in a conveyor belt like that down these lines and they're not going to the left or to the right. But we all know that's completely
Well,
frigging stupid. Am I
exactly.
allowed to say?
well,
Am I allowed to
was
say
it
completely
like
fucking stupid? You'd have to be a fucking a patriotic retard, you know, like you'd have to be fucking Cro-Magnon fucking man to believe that these bloody lines on the floor are going to help you, you
Well,
know.
here's
But
the
people
thing.
did.
They might have
But
had this in the UK. we had this. Now I got almost kicked out of a restaurant because when you walk into a restaurant here in Canada, you had to wear the mask to the table. I get
You
down,
had to.
I
Now
sit
you
down
don't
at
have
the
to.
table. I'd sit down at the table to take it off to eat, obviously, and I never wore a mask. So let me tell you, when I walked into a restaurant and the waiters are like, "Oh my god, this guy's gonna kill us," I walked right in and I'd walk in, no mask. And what I did one time, the owner came over and says, "You got to get out of here." I'm like, "Fuck, do you want me to pay for this food you just gave me?" So I told him, I said, "You want me to pay for that? You're just going to let me, I have to use the bathroom." So I got up. I never wore a mask. So where's the science behind, I can sit down and eat because COVID can't get me under 6 feet. Like either 6 feet on the floor, you have to stand apart, or 6 feet in the air.
Yeah.
I guess COVID's like,
That was a fucking stupid fucking
but people
study out of Denmark with the slipstream bullshit.
people followed it, Steve, and everyone
Yeah.
else. What angers me is for 2 years, people were like, "Well, I'm just going to do it." And I'm like, "Why?" I said, "And when are you going to take that mask off? When the government tells you?" And I said, "When are you going to take it off?" And people couldn't answer me. I said, "Well, are you going to take it off when you feel like you can take it off? Or are you going to take it off when the government tells you?" And people, I don't want to anger people with that question, but I ask them.
I think these
I
governments have to be holding on to these restrictions as long as they can. It seems like in these countries.
Well, they're going to come back. It's going to come
Canada's
back.
bad. Oh,
It
fucking
seems
Canada's
Canada's
bad.
just like crazy right now. What's going on
Canada's
out there,
bad.
Trevor?
I mean, they've
Trudeau.
they've lightened up, but still.
It's going to come back, Steve. I guarantee
Well,
you.
I know.
By Christmas time, because they want us. The Canadians need to enjoy the summer. We get
Yeah.
3 months of the year where
3
it's nice
months,
weather,
yeah.
and so they're like, "Well, we'll back off, let the Canadians feel pretty good, and then come September, October."
Well, fuck that. I'm going down to visit Joe
All
in
right,
Florida.
come on down.
I looked. I
Yeah, but
actually looked into moving to New Mexico. I
Yeah.
looked into New Mexico because when they said the truckers need their vaccine, New Mexico governor came out and she said, "Hey, any Canadians want to come work down here?" And I started looking into places like I guess El Paso and Santa Fe. I'm like, God,
Oh,
there's
you don't
mountains.
want to go to El Paso.
I left a girl, her name is. I don't know.
Oh
thinking
my
of-
god, I fucking what a
Well, I
nightmare
just
in
was
El
thinking of
Paso was.
It's
was
it's
just-
funny though because Canada's been punished. One of the worst countries has been punished, and they showed the most spirit for fighting back, but they've been punished the most.
Yep.
And it's almost like as if it's like, well, there you go. That's the lesson, isn't it? You know, Mr. Trudeau is telling you that if you fight back against Mr. Trudeau, you'll just have it longer and longer and longer because naughty. Yeah. Mm.
I'll tell you, naughty. I'd like to 5 minutes to talk to Mr. Trudeau. He's a pretty-
I like how you're controlling yourself, Trevor, by saying Mr. Trudeau.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I wanted to ask you, what you got any crazy adventures coming up? You working on some stuff, projects?
Yeah, we were meant to be going on a really crazy one this evening, but then an idiot turned up and then it got nasty. So, yeah. So that was a bit, yes. Yeah, but
How
we're gonna,
often are you getting out there? Every week? I mean,
yeah, many times a week. You know, I sort of go out as much as I can, really. As much as it's mostly down to whether I can get my mate to look after my dog, and have I got enough petrol money. But I'll be out every day if I could.
Is the gas getting expensive over there?
Probably.
Yeah. And that's a good point, actually. Since coming back to, I got to say this because it popped into my head about the COVID thing. I think all of this COVID stuff is part of the new world order. Here's the conspiracy thing: it's the new world order agenda to soften us up, soften us up to certain ideas, like you've got to have ID. Everything's going to cost more money, even though there's no real reason for it. But it's going to cost more money,
But you accept it.
But you'll accept it, and you're going to have to do these silly things, and you're going to jump through hoops, and they want to see whether people are going to take it, because it's all about, like, if people will take it, they'll turn it up, they'll add more.
So in 2020, there had to be a shift. I felt like, right, Matt? It's like there was like a shift of this. The COVID came out, and there was a shift that, like you're saying, of getting people to adjust to this new changes.
Well, they kept saying
very dramatic, very dramatic.
And it's almost like these things now with these phony jabs, because I mean they only work for 3 months, and now we know that natural immunity is better, but they're still trying to sort of wangle it. They're trying to get it in for kids, like, oh come on, we'll make a couple of billion.
I just saw a
like
commercial
get kids to it
for kids under 600 to get the vaccine.
And we all know. If you take the vaccine and it pushes away your ability to get COVID, you'd be better off getting it, because natural immunity is better. So why take the vaccine? Because you want to catch it. Catching it's better. You're actually going to help yourself more. The only reason you need to take a jab is if you really are at risk and you think it might help you because you couldn't survive catching it. But I think that's bullshit, because most people could probably survive catching it. Most people who've had it said it wasn't that bad.
No.
Only some poor bastards like Gareth.
Yeah.
And,
But that was early on, though. It's strange how everything has changed with it.
Yeah, and people said, like,
catch it and they survive.
Yeah, people were being put on ventilators, and they said that was not the best thing for people. Now they know a lot more about it. And it's really sad. I mean, you can't change and you can't go back in time, but literally, I mean, I've been talking to Gareth about ivermectin for a long time. And a number of people I've been talking to have been saying things like, the BBC have said it's bullshit. Rah, 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 rah. The government has said it's bullshit. The same government that said, don't wear masks, it doesn't work. That then said, do wear masks, it does work. So it's like we're living in 1984, where it's like, newspeak, it's like, we are at war with Eurasia. No, Eurasia is our friend. We are now at war with East Asia. And it's like, it just changes day to day. What's
interesting
anything.
too about all this, so we are so focused on COVID for the past couple of years. Now we have the Ukraine war and all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Where is all the COVID stuff in that? I mean, exactly, it's infected over there. You don't hear about that kind of stuff. It's just it's not that I want to hear about it. I'm just saying,
economy to the
it's
point
kind of like
a
backstory now.
It's like COVID's destroyed the economy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, United States. I mean, your money machine's been going. Brrr. Like, I mean, they printed out more money in 2 years.
We had Bitcoins.
Yeah, but I know. I mean, I don't know. I don't do Bitcoin.
I'm just saying that's the big thing now here in the U.S. is Bitcoin.
But well, I know, but I got a bit of a prepper mind too, and I always think, well, when the shit hits the fan and my internet goes down, there's no power. I can't access my crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can.
What do you guys?
There's a special room I have in my house with a lot of stuff in it that I can access. I do.
You've always been kind of off the grid, kind of. Trevor,
yeah. I'm not off the
know?
grid anymore, Joe, because I moved. We're in a city now, and I don't like that. But I do have, canned food and all that. I got a lot of precious metals, and I don't know, man. Where's this COVID? This COVID has derailed our economy.
We've gone from COVID. We've gone from COVID to war.
To war, yeah.
It's
and
crazy.
Look at it. I can't enjoy
Reminds me
I can't enjoy. For 2 years, I haven't been able to enjoy any kind of Bigfoot stuff.
What were you saying, Pigeon Whistle? What were you saying?
Especially here in Ontario, right, Trevor?
Well, although being in BC and Alberta, I was like, yeah. Now we moved back here where I'm living. If there's a Bigfoot where I'm living, he'd be pretty noticeable. But
exactly.
but I mean, I can't focus on anything like passions that I have like that, and that's what's
Why
I think
not?
a lot of us are like that, though. A lot of us, like I feel that
you can't go out as much.
a lot of what I've done is just like you sit there and go, "What's the fucking point now with the shit that's going on?" It's
With your passion, what do you? It's in your heart. Like, what do you do?
Well, sure, it's in my heart. I mean, look at like Matt, who likes to go out and urbex. It's just like I fucking love doing that.
And
shit.
did every single day of the lockdown as well. They could fuck right off.
Me too. Me too, dude. I was out there every day I was off. I was out there exploring.
Yeah.
Said, fuck this. I'm gonna make the most if I can.
Well,
in my
I don't
time.
know how it was in Ontario at the time because I just moved back to Ontario a year ago. But in BC, they closed a lot of the parks, and I mean,
dude,
now
it was crazy.
in BC,
Dude, they're closing forests.
They're armed. They're heavily armed.
They fucking closed. They closed fucking provincial parks here.
Yeah.
It was a fucking joke.
We couldn't go down our trails. It was just. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think people were just scared. People were just they didn't know what's going on, right? Right? I mean,
how did we get
how
so
the
scared?
how the fuck are you gonna stumble across fucking COVID while taking a hike? Seriously,
Bigfoot jumped out. He might have coughed on me. Oh shit!
I remember at the gas stations, like everything was like wiped down. I mean, it's like they were wiping down all the gas pumps.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I tripped my nose after I fill up.
I still remember, like here in Canada, the gas was 52 cents.
Dude, the gas has gone up here in the U.S. like crazy.
Well, here it's gone up like fucking crazy too.
Not compared to in Europe and where you guys are at.
It was 52 cents. Now it's averaging about a $1.89 a liter here.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Is it because the push for electric?
Yeah. Well, you're going to get a lot of people going, fuck, maybe I should buy an electric. But the thing is, are you willing to spend fork out the money for that?
It's crazy all the electric cars I'm seeing now.
And then you look at people's situations, like somebody lives in a condo. Where are they going to fucking park their car and charge it overnight?
It's expensive too.
There's a lot of people live in the downtown core that have houses that don't have driveways. There's all sorts of variables that you got to think about when you get an electric car.
Yeah.
Right?
Plus, where does the electricity come from? Coal,
Well,
oil?
It comes from they mine this stuff. It's called white gold, and actually, it's so good for the environment, the electric. But you're mining all this. You're still digging into the earth and mining all this.
Yeah, exactly. They don't fucking tell you about that. And you look at the fucking the batteries are good for what, 5 years? 5 years, and then you got to have them replaced.
The environment.
5 years, and then you got to pay. You got to pay to have that fucking battery disposed of.
Oh well, in I think Chevy's brought out a new affordable electric car, and it is pretty affordable. Yeah. And as you said, 5 years the battery needs to be replaced. But guess what? They won't replace it. They told you can go shove it.
Exactly.
So actually, you've got to throw the whole car away because you can't replace the battery.
Exactly. And then you look at the production of those fucking batteries, and then to dispose of those batteries are even fucking worse.
Oh, we lost Matt.
Yeah,
he'll be back.
Thanks for coming in, Matt.
I think his signal just kind of buffered out. But yeah, it's definitely the batteries are something to be considered because what goes on to make those batteries, to mine for that kind of resource.
Well, I mean, lithium alone, right? I mean, lithium, and then you thinking about some other hardcore metals that they put in there to make up the batteries. It's just,
but it's also better than using fossil fuels. So we'll see.
But yeah, is it though? I mean, in the long run, is it?
I think it's just about who makes the most money right now. Like, what's the next thing?
It's a segment where they have not fucking explored, and now they are. And look at the conditions are ideal. Gas prices are skyrocketing. Oh
my gosh, expensive as shit here in Florida right now.
Like, what is it? What is it? $4?
Like $4 to $5. Yeah, $4 to $5.
A gallon. You know,
I think when we do
And-
the conversion from a liter to the so 1 liter where I live is $1.79, $1.75. I think yesterday I was, and I'm thinking, okay, 1 liter is 2.2 gallons.
Yeah.
I think so.
No, I saw these same prices.
well,
back in
I was
How many
looking.
liters in the it's expensive either way.
I think it works out to roughly about $1.40, $1.40 a liter.
Let's talk about cultural conditioning on these gas prices, because I thought about this today. I was like, well, you know what? We're in 2022. This is the natural evolution of pricing. It's going to go up. If you think back 20 years ago, it was cheaper, of course. So, it just goes up, right? But that's what
Yeah.
we're conditioned to think, that prices go up. That
Yeah.
we're like, you know what I mean? Like once a price goes, it's not going to go back, right? It's like, so we're kind of conditioned to that $4 a gallon price here in Florida.
Yeah.
But so the price of $2 a gallon, that's out the window now. We'll never go back to that.
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think it'll do
That's
that.
what I mean.
Well, what if
Yeah.
I was prime minister?
It's like
of
a
Canada?
constant growth of gas prices. It's weird how they, like you said, it's a test to see how we can.
Well, what they do, Joe, like you said, they'll jack it up and then they might
Yeah.
roll it back a quarter.
Exactly.
And then you'll feel like, oh, I'm
it's
getting
summer.
a deal. And that'll be the new
it's-
norm. Yeah.
There an excuse. It's summer. People are traveling, so the gas price. Who's controlling this? You know what I mean? Who's controlling all this stuff? Like the people are traveling, so the gas prices got to go up for these 3 months.
But
because people are
that's
traveling.
what they tell you. That's what they
Yeah.
tell you. They tell you based upon trends. And they have no idea now because of COVID and how it's affected those trends over the past 2 years.
And then I'll tell you, well, it's a global market. You know
Yeah.
what I saw today too, and Trevor, you got me. I was pumping up gas. Guy had a sticker on there. It said Biden to be blamed for the gas.
I did that or something. I see those Biden.
Yeah,
Biden
it said Biden did this.
Yeah, Biden.
Yeah.
Well, there was a guy in the States who got arrested for doing that. I guess it'd be real. If I was, I'd be building nuclear power plants like there's no tomorrow and pumping out the diesel. I don't know.
But I thought about the
Interesting.
sticker. I thought about the sticker. How people are so politically inclined. They think politics. They think it's so left right.
Well,
Like,
that's the thing,
know,
right?
Like they don't control it. You know what I mean?
But they
There's-
always think politics.
Yeah,
and
they do.
a lot of these politicians have made it political.
Exactly.
You know.
They
Yeah.
thrive off it, dude.
You know, it's funny. I was in a grocery store today, and I saw a guy shopping in a full hazmat suit.
No.
What?
A full hazmat suit,
Still?
breathers, and all. Man, he full hazmat suit.
Oh, he must. I have never seen that. I've seen like the
Oh,
respirator
man.
mask, like the big, that looks like 2 coffee mugs stuck on
Yeah.
the side of your head. I've seen that. I have
Yeah.
not seen the hazmat suit. though.
Full
That-
hazmat suit.
I've seen triple mask. I was like, what the?
Well, yeah, I've seen that.
What the hell?
Yeah, but the thing is, when the zombie apocalypse comes, he'll probably be the only one who's still left alive, wandering around. You know, he'd be like, "I told them," and he's like, he's got all the groceries stashed at his house
Yeah.
because he wore the hazmat suit. Yeah.
Well, the zombie. I tell you, back in April 2020, I was freaking out, thinking there's going to be zombies crawling out of the forest and coming up to my house. I'm like,
So now from a
June rolls
judgment
around. I'm like, I
standpoint-
don't know.
From a judgment standpoint, when you see someone wearing a mask, do you think, oh, they're not vaccinated? And
No,
do
I
you think
they're-
that?
they've got 15 vaccinations. When I see somebody, no,
But if I'm vaccinated, I'm not going to wear a mask, right?
well, then but that's your choice too. I always say it's your choice. I just don't know. I still see probably.
I still see people wear a mask, and
Yeah,
I wonder, are
like,
they
I think it's
vaccinated,
like-
or do they just choose not to get vaccinated? They're going to wear the mask for the rest
I
of their
think
life.
they're
That's what I'm
angry.
wondering.
I think they're angry, Joe. That's what I see a lot of angry people looking at me still,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think the mask thing is.
I think it's.
You're
I think we're
told
done
you
with
don't have
it.
to wear it now, so.
I saw someone wear one the other day. I'm just wondering why you still wearing it. You know?
And in Florida, it must be goddamn hot to wear a mask too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
humidity, or I don't know the humidity. Well, yeah,
It is.
must
Yeah,
be
dude. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot to wear one.
Christ, I couldn't wear one like in the summer here in Canada. I mean, It's, like I used to tell. I know. This will be my second summer in a place that has 40 degrees Celsius with humidity again. And
But
I
as
hate
far
that.
as restaurants and stuff, you can go in and not wear a mask. It's no big deal anymore. It's like nothing
Yeah,
ever. It's like nothing ever happened. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
But it's I just don't understand why it happened. And here we are. I don't know what's going on, Joe. Now, yeah, we got Ukraine and Jesus Christ, one thing after another.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to make a few
is
bucks.
I think the best that we all can do is keep creating and keep doing what we love doing. And but man, I tell you, it's hard because all this stuff around us is just like you don't know what to think.
What do you reckon to these people who drive around in a car, with like one person in the car and they're driving around with a mask on, and you're just like,
I wonder if these people take shows like The Walking Dead real serious. I wonder if Hollywood and all these movies. So here's my conspiracy, paranormal, maybe mine. I'm thinking like shows like The Walking Dead have been out since 2010, and do people take that so serious that they think they're going to turn into zombies?
I saw a documentary about religion, about the second coming of Christ and that kind of stuff, and about how they're getting prepared for that when he comes here, and they're doing all this stuff, and it's like they take it so serious, Trevor. It's you wouldn't believe it. They're digging trenches, they're getting bunkers built.
Oh, the prepper community is I go there, yeah.
But it's not about so much they're preppers, but it's about religion for them. They feel that it's a religion thing, that something's going to happen. They all pray for the end times. Everyone through history, right, Steve, is they pray for the end times,
Yep.
And I was trying to think, what is that in the Christianity? What do they call that? Like in Revelations, like I forget what they call that.
The rapture.
Yeah.
So I was watching something where these guys they have like. And they combine it with UFOs and aliens. It's getting crazy.
Everyone disappears, and like are taken up to heaven, and there's only a few left, and there's like, and then they've got to kind of just get on with it. They're the godless ones. They stay on Earth and just kind of carry on, but everybody else is taken off to heaven. For the 70 virgins, or whatever it is.
It's crazy how people really take to that, and they'll do what they can, like you say in preppers, Trevor, and they prep for that. I mean, they take it serious.
The prepping community, fucking like
you're a prepper, aren't you?
Oh, a little. I mean, I am to the point where I'm like, look, if the government says have 3 days of food, I got 30. I got more. I mean, I just want to be prepared for anything. Like, I mean, there's natural disasters. So there's man-made one like that. What's been happening here for 2 years. I'm telling you, the economic collapse. Like, I'm astounded. Like, if I filled a grocery cart full of food, it's $400 at least. And I don't have that kind of money. I don't.
Do you go to one of those big warehouse stores?
Well, look, I'll go to we have a giant Walmart where we live. That's typically where I go, or we have a place called Superstore. Whatever, it's just a giant Loblaws or I go there, Joe, and to fill my cart for 2 weeks of food, it's like $400.
How about you guys? I mean, I feel like we do that more and more, don't we? It's because we're spending money for buying all this bulk of stuff, right?
Well, yeah. I'm like, damn, it's real. It's really real. It hit me the other day. I went to Walmart and got 2 bags of food, and it was $73 and change.
Well, food prices have gone up too.
I think.
Oh, and I hear that people all over the states are telling me. I had a girl from Washington State crying because she said she spent $150 and she got 2 bags of groceries. I'm like, I mean, I don't know, Washington State, I'm sure.
And man, what's going on in the UK with prices over there?
Electricity and gas and everything like that's all doubled.
Oh my gosh.
Doubled.
Like when you go to the grocery store,
they say it's never going to come back down as well. This is the thing over here. They softened us up to the point where they've gone, it's going to double, and all those profits, all the profits are going to go now to the shareholders. So it's like, well, hang on, can't we like strip that back so that people can actually live, because nobody's doubling wages.
Yeah,
but everything just doubled.
Exactly.
So now people are half, they've got half the amount of money to live on. So people are now 50% poorer, You know,
Are
because
there
everything
a lot
doubled.
of jobs available? Jobs for people over there? You seeing now hiring signs and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, but people are kind of, I think people are just. This is one good thing after the COVID lockdowns is people just said, "Why the shit do we do this stuff anymore?
Exactly.
Why are we
Exactly. I
doing
thought
it?"
that too, man. I was like, "Fuck
You
Now,
know,
this."
do you have
You
to
know?
have in the UK?
Sorry for the cussing.
Do you have to in the UK? Like you don't. You could hire. You could apply for a job, and they're not going to say, "Are you vaccinated?" Like you don't have to do that anymore. Or
they
is it kind
might
of?
they might do. It depends on the individual employers,
Yeah,
but
Trevor, you might have to get used to that, man.
yeah,
I can't.
but
Yeah, no. I
you
just.
know,
sort of-
you
Well,
could
you
you
know
could
what? You live in
refuse.
Trevor lives
You
in a
could
bad
refuse.
country, so he can get away with it. Well, you live in the city now, so you might.
But
Have
he's
to
in
do
the
that.
city now, yeah.
I'm. I could probably throw a stone and hit Steve in the head right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd have to have.
But
a good
Matt's
arm,
right. I
yeah.
mean, it's the world has changed. Where like we have to have these things now. You know,
Joe,
Even
are you a Publix man?
what do you mean?
Grocery
Florida?
store.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
even in the National Health
Yeah, I
Service, they
am.
were saying you have to, even as carers for caring for old people or whatever, everybody in the National Health Service would have to be vaccinated, otherwise you'd lose your job.
What's going on with
That
Ben?
there was so much of an uproar about it. They
Mhm.
backed off and they said, okay, we're not going to do that now. So
Oh.
again, another thing that the government backed away from. It's kind of like, it was like, you must have your vaccines, you must do this, you must do that. Every single one of those things has been eroded away. There's nothing left now, really. You can go to work if you got COVID. They're quite happy if you just spread it to people at your work. Go to work with COVID.
You know what's crazy, dude? Is that so the past year I took off vlogging, or took off to do my vlogging full time,
Mhm.
and then now I'm kind of back doing some work to make some money. But I notice people act like nothing happened. They notice they don't work. They sneeze, they cough on you, and it's like no big deal. But
Yeah.
like 2 years ago, that would be like blasphemy. You know what I mean? Like, don't cough on me. Get the hell away.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Isn't that weird how it's
Yep.
changed?
it
Yeah,
is
it's-
bizarre.
Maybe it depends on, I guess, where you're at. That's why
I
so much.
suppose-
No
Trevor's
pun,
like
no pun intended, Joe. But it's a complete mindset now.
It is, man. It is.
It is
I mean,
a complete mindset.
I suppose you could say it's because of the variants have become weak, so therefore, now's the time to catch it. I can see the logic in that,
But you guys made a good point about the natural immunity. Being
Humidity.
natural. Yeah, immunity.
You've been
Yeah.
watching too much Survivor there. Come on,
Spermidity. Yeah,
spermidity.
yeah.
But, just naturally now you can catch it like the regular cold, no big deal. But
It's probably a good thing, because the more that we catch it, the more that it integrates into us as a species, and we'll probably just learn to get over it, and we might just kind of, never really come back in a nasty sense, because maybe this is how a lot of things. Maybe imagine the very first colds that sort of like crept up. They've probably killed half the planet, and then people learn how to deal with them. Their bodies learn how to deal with it. So, we were freaking out, going like, "Oh, we found this new thing," and it's like, well, yeah, just get on with it. We will get over it. We will learn how to deal with it. Our bodies do. We're not at the stage where we can actually engineer like solutions, and these vaccines are just like a band-aid. They're sort of really not covering up. If a band-aid on a 90% burnt body, it's like it's a band-aid. It's really not doing very much. So I think that what we have to do is we have to learn from this, that if it happens again, not to overreact, and to kind of use some common sense approaches for how you deal with things. But I do think people are just kind of like fed up of working now. They want to work from home. A lot of people are working from home.
Yeah.
There's a bank that decided they weren't going to build their new headquarters because it was just easier and cheaper to just keep the workforce working from home. I mean, you don't have to pay for the building.
I had so much free time during lockdown to do my projects, and now it's like, if I'm gonna work, I want to do on my own terms. I have that freedom. What is that?
We could never have done.
I think us as
without computers and technology. Now we could do this, you know. So why
But
not?
I feel
why
like
not
that
use it?
us as individuals, we feel this compelled. You know, we're compelled to come out and be free and do what you want to do now. Before we were locked down, we were locked into this like certain segment of society. You work these jobs, work these hours, but COVID hit, and we're like, you know what? We're gonna do what we're gonna do to survive.
Yeah.
And I know you, man. You're always out there doing your videos and projects, and you probably doubled your work during COVID, right? Lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, I was out there quite a lot, and I loved it. But, you know, I gotta say, it was bliss.
Yeah, it was, wasn't
Roads were empty. The
it?
roads were so empty. It was
Oh, wasn't it
wonderful.
cool, dude? Oh,
Oh,
dude.
you could just like floor it. You know, you could do 100 miles an hour. Not that I would ever do that, but you know,
But
and you
dude,
could
no
just
one
be
was out there.
swerving across the road. Hey, you know,
Yeah,
you'd be the only person on the road sometimes. You know, it's just like it
we.
was like being in a zombie movie. It was like being
So
in a zombie movie.
How do you go back to? How do you go back to how it was? You can't. Like you said, people don't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
Oh, it is kind of back, I think. I mean, people are out shopping. They're doing their usual things. They like want to buy new wallpaper. I need my new settee, to replace the one that we got last year. You know, I need new things. I need new
Steve's
stuff.
been decorating.
New stuff.
Yeah. You know, Steve's been out there getting some stuff I've been seeing on Facebook, posting new stuff. You know, I'm just kidding.
New barbecue.
Yeah.
New barbecue.
Yeah.
Needed it in a bad way.
But yeah, man, seriously, I feel like people are trying to just go back to how they used to be, but it's not going to be like that anymore. That's all I'm saying.
And it's funny as well because like China was a bit of a bitch, you know.
China's very strange.
Now they've kind of like they're eating humble pie a bit because of the way it came out. You know, they don't want to accept that it was them, and they've tried telling their own people it was America, spread it around and say it was China.
But why are they still in lockdown?
Yeah. And you know, so they're dealing with it like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, like the Ukrainian war as well, I think, you know, out of something that's so horrible, it kind of taught people like, hey, don't go relying on other people's countries' resources, you know, for us to live. Because if you do that, you're going to get flipped up the flippity hole. If you
so here in the U.S., every night on the news is everything about the Ukrainian war. Everything is covered. There's no other news in the world, according to the
pretty
US.
much the same here.
Isn't that crazy?
And
What's going on with that?
It's the same fucking thing every day. Same thing.
There's got to be other news going on. I mean, there's something going. You talk about conditioning, so we're going from a shift to another shift.
Yeah,
and there's something going on. You know, I feel it. That's a whole nother discussion, but I'm just saying.
You know, I agree. I agree, Joe. And you know, I sit there and say, you know, and I look at this the way life is now, and I say, wow, you know, what the fuck is going on? I mean, it's almost like nobody gives a shit anymore about anything. It's like everyone's like tossed everything out the fucking window, and it's like I'm waiting for anarchy. Why has that not fucking started yet?
I don't know. You gotta ask Trevor about that because he's.
I'm waiting for that, man. I'm waiting.
I honestly, I am so fucking surprised that has not taken place yet.
Well,
I think people are so. Go ahead.
I think they're gonna just get around it with this kind of like universal credit type thing, where they're gonna go, well, hey, there's no need for you to work anymore because everything's so expensive, you can't really afford it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give it to you because you can't afford it. But that's not our fault, and it's not your fault. So we're just gonna give it to you, but you have to sign up to all these kinds of like, you know, we spy on you, we do this, we do that.
And that's happening here already, Matt, in Canada. Man, that's happening here. Trevor,
you guys,
right? Yeah,
you guys, what's going on with fucking Canada? You guys are crazy up there.
Oh, it's fucked up.
What I see is that is going to happen, like a UBI's universal basic incomes. But because Steve, like anarchy, in the sense that you where riots and everything aren't going to happen, but because they're going to get these food prices. Like I'm telling you, food is where they're going to get us.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
food is
just becoming ridiculous.
It's a commodity. It's a commodity.
It's ridiculous.
You know.
So what I'm saying is, like, it will just before people are about to riot. That's when the government comes out and says, "Hey, don't worry, we're going to give you this nice government wrap bacon." And
Joe, I don't know if you've walked into a Walmart in down there in a while.
Yeah,
and
I have.
Have you seen what they're rolling out with the ribeye steaks?
It's crazy. Yeah.
The mesh fucking security system on them.
Yeah, it's something.
It's fucking ridiculous what they're fucking doing. And I get it. I get it. Theft is bad now. Theft it is ridiculous. At an all-time high with certain things. But when you're charging fucking, $15 for a pack of fucking hot dogs, it's ridiculous.
Food, I mean, if people are going to do what they got to do to get money or to get these products. But yeah, man, it's crazy what's going on down here. I'm seeing like people taking not only food but like car parts and stuff like that.
Joe? Have you seen what's with these food processing plants burning down in the United States? There's 18 since January.
Wow.
There's a lot of food processing plants. Wow. Even in Canada, there was 2 that burnt down.
Really?
Whether there's
because with scarcity comes increased prices. Means more people can make more money.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think a lot of it's. I think it's food plants are burning down. Yeah.
I think it's disruption in a lot of ways to kind of disrupt everything.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know, but yeah, 2 for sure.
Crashed into food processing plants in the United States.
It's interesting you bring that up because you don't hear about that on the mainstream media.
No.
You don't hear about that on the main news for sure.
I never hear it there. No, it's very hard to hear it on there. But there's
it's here in America, but I never heard about it.
Yeah, 18. If you look it up, you can easily find since November. Oh my God, it's at like 30 plants. It's just.
What's interesting in America,
like there was a head office that burnt down, so it disrupted their
news. Is popular for like 2 weeks and it goes away. Like what happened? What happened to that story? It's just like it was a big thing for.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is for you guys, but it's just how it is here. It's like
Well, it's the same thing here. The trucker convoy in Canada was big.
Exactly, dude. That was popular.
They shut the biker.
Oh my God! Every night they were covering that shit, dude. The trucker stuff.
I think the biggest problem.
Now
what happened to the truckers? I never heard back. What happened? Tell me what happened.
Oh, they had to go back
to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the government, Trudeau knew that was going to happen.
You know what sucks is like I feel like in 2020 we were making progress, and now this whole thing happened, COVID, and we took a shift back, just like in 9/11. Remember 9/11? I feel like we were making progress, and the government's got to fuck shit up, or something's got to happen. You know,
I think the biggest problem, I've said this for years, I mean, like, is stocked shelves. They're stocked to the max, to the roof. Everything's stocked up. Yeah. And 50% of all that food that goes on those shelves is taken off and thrown away because they can't sell it. Yeah. So you imagine Mr. Poor Cow, is grown up and lives out in the fields and then being milked and then sort of like ends up in a burger. He's driven, like he's refrigerated. He's driven over like the whole of the United States. Then he's put on a ship. Then he's driven halfway around the globe on a boat. Then he's driven around half of Russia to get onto, a supermarket shelf. But then he's out of date. So he just gets put in the bin. What a waste of a life. What a waste of food.
And then you watch people. Yeah.
Yep. We need to start thinking about using the food we've got instead of just making it to make the shops look good, because it's all done. The reason the prices are so high is because they want to look good. So therefore they charge you more money on the price of the food so they can stock it, even though they know they're going to throw it away, and they factor that in. They don't want to look like empty shelves.
People pay the money. People will pay the money with no question.
Yeah.
Right. But also, there's people around the world that will travel for miles to get that kind of food or water, and we take it for granted. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, we've got enough food waste to feed all the homeless people, to feed all the countries of the world, but we won't give it away. We'd rather throw it away. It must be thrown away.
So what do you guys think of these abandoned like cities in the U.S.? They had these like cities, tent cities. People live in. There's like no laws. They have their own way of life. There's one I just saw a documentary on called what the hell
Slab
is it? Slab
City?
Yeah, I saw that. You see
Yeah,
that?
as soon as you said that, Joe, I'm thinking of Slab City.
What the hell is up with that, dude? I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's
Let's
weird.
talk
I
about that
knew as
real
soon as
quick.
you started saying that, I just watched that about 2 weeks ago. A place called Slab City. It's out in either Nevada or California, between LA and Las Vegas, I think. And it's just called Slab City, and there's basically people just live in there, and there really is no.
This
They're all
isn't an
rural.
extent. This isn't an extension of Skid Row, is it?
Well, it's people out there making like I mean, Joe.
I guess
don't
they
know,
tr-
a lot of
well, they-
artists kind of people, and
It's artists, but they trade for their goods. They don't pay
Okay.
money. They actually haven't used any kind of money for ages. They said they forget what using money is like because they trade everything every day.
yeah,
And, they help each other out. And they said that if anybody in the community causes a problem, they kick them out. So that they kind of police themselves, which is kind of
there's
interesting.
good documentary on two fellas.
So here in America, we have a separate
This
state where they're like independent.
Sonoran
How about that?
Desert in California.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Slab
where it is.
City.
Now
It's not. I couldn't live like that. I couldn't. When I watched it though, Joe, I was like, I couldn't live
I
there.
couldn't either.
Just because it was too hippie-ish for me. Like I
Well,
want to be like off the grid like that, but I want to have.
I thought about I think about the fantasy of it. I do like the fantasy of doing that. But when I'm actually, if I went out there and lived the reality of it, I would be like, wait a minute, I
I'd
can't
be
do this.
bored.
But I do think
a
it's the one guy I watched. He did. It seemed like he didn't work and just like lived there. So that sounds kind of cool.
I
And,
think I got the feeling that some of the people had like schizophrenia. Like I
Yeah,
would
he-
bring my 8-year-old daughter there. Like I thought,
well, you
I'd
could,
live in a place like that.
the guy had one guy I watched. He had like a kid there. So imagine raising your daughter there, and that's all they know as a way of life. So that might not help them in the future.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
don't. I just didn't like. But it is interesting. It didn't seem like
It is.
nobody was ever killed there. Like nobody ever murdered anybody. So that
Yeah.
I mean the
But I talked to people in America here, and they actually condemn those places. They think they're bad. They're like horrible.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're bad people, but they might be good people. You know what I mean?
well they don't seem to hurt anybody. So that's
That's
not,
what I'm saying, dude. So
way of
people
life
judge.
for me. Like I just look at that and go, I want a house. Like I'd like to have what I had back in BC, just for whatever circumstances. And like again, we moved across Canada, so I'd like to have that again because like there's things that are important to me. Like
Well, you've always been
power
like off the grid, so like you want your own power.
as
So out
much
there,
as like that is like I still want to be in society. I'd love to have my own. Like I'd like to have a big rig right now. Like I'd like to be driving down the road. I'd like to be heading down to Miami, dropping off a load of beef, and then
come
head
on
up
down.
to Seattle and stuff. Yeah, I just is what. But I mean, I want to be. I want to. be in
Trevor,
society.
were you long hauling before?
No. This is
You were long hauling. Okay.
no. I just kind of. In 2015, I've wanted to do this for a long time, and then through some listening to people, I shouldn't have, and didn't happen. So now, and I can't even happen now. And now I'm like, oh geez, I could actually probably go do it now. The time and a bit of support and whatnot, and I can't. So people are like, because I have talked to truckers and I talk to guys who have 20, 30 years experience who are unvaccinated for COVID. And they're like, dude, who do you think they're going to, who's the company going to let drive the loads, me or you? And I'm like, well, you, because you got the seniority, right? And that's just how it works in trucking too. It's a seniority. So, and so it's like the people are like, well, go get your license, but don't expect to be getting anything great. like $20 an hour and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I can collect more.
So
yeah.
you did your Bigfoot explorations. I remember watching some documentaries. One thing I do believe in about that kind of stuff is the up in the mountains and the glaciers, the Yeti, incredible. Some of the experiences people up there.
Oh yeah,
Guys, I'm going to make a move. I gotta say good night, but thanks very much for having us on. I'll listen to you on the TV now as I go to sleep.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Take care.
Thank you. Nice to see you all.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers,
Good to
Tim,
talk to you, man.
Trevor,
Take care, Matt.
Joe,
Take care.
and Steve.
Take care.
All the best. Bye.
Adios.
Yeah, man, we're
Midnight
getting
on
late, but I
Saturday.
wanted to bring up about the Yeti because I saw this thing about they go up in these tall, like the mountains, like 30,000 feet up in elevation. You would never see any kind of footprints, but you see these footprints up there. It's incredible. Just, it's amazing.
Yeah, I see. My mind is more North American. Like I love that. I loved being out in the Pacific Northwest, and I just, I'd go through the vastness of it, and I'm like there's places where people have never even stepped. What do they say in the
So
United?
what's going on, dude? Are you out there making videos? Still?
No, I live in a place where there's like
He's surrounded. He's surrounded.
Steve knows. Like I mean, there's like 8 million people that live around us here.
You know what, Matt? I would love to get my ass up to the northern parts of Ontario.
Oh yeah.
Because
I love.
I gotta get up to Canada. I gotta get up there and visit you guys.
Well, it's beautiful up there, man. And,
It is.
Like you drive from like Steve, like Barrie up to like Thunder Bay. I mean, it's a beautiful drive.
Yeah,
that's absolutely gorgeous up along Lake Superior, and you're heading into places like Sault Ste. Marie, and I mean, none of these names other than Steve might know, but I don't know if you guys, but yeah, it's beautiful up there. And there's I'm not so much into the Ontario Bigfoot. I didn't do the research out there. For me, it's always been British Columbia and Oregon, Washington State, and I haven't even hardly thought of Bigfoot. I've said Bigfoot more tonight than I have in the last year. That's for sure. And that's
maybe we've sparked it back in you.
I'd like to because now, I mean, you can. I mean, it is more open now. I could have gone out. God, see, now I got a tickle. Oh my God.
See now, Trevor, we need. You know what we need to do? We need to put together a Northern Ontario Bigfoot documentary.
Yeah,
there is Northern. Is it Ontario Sasquatch? I think it's called.
Yeah.
I've watched some videos, man, of people out in Northern Ontario, and there's some compelling videos out there.
Yep.
I'm hoping to get moose hunting out there. So,
that's a good start then.
So Steve, I appreciate all the adventures you've been doing, man. I've been seeing your posts, everything you've been doing. It's amazing. Keep it up, man.
Well, I haven't got out as much as I'd like to, but thank you. Yeah,
dude,
I have not been out as much as I'd like to.
But you've been out, you've been podcasting and you're doing your shows like constantly. It's just incredible.
Well, that's Steve, like you and Alex, everyone on here, everybody tonight, and I mean, I just made 2 videos today. They're 4 minutes long. I hadn't made anything YouTube channel in like
Trevor
a month. So
you're like me, dude. I feel inspired by Steve because since Gareth has passed, I mean, I have to bring it up again. I'm trying to bring it up.
Oh, hey, don't go for it, buddy.
I can't podcast lately because I just feel these memories come back. You just bring this whole new light of inspiration.
Well, just put it this way. Look at and I look at it the same way, Joe, because Gareth inspired me, and I was to the point where I was going to hang it up and say fuck it. But then like I said, I don't know how many times a week Gareth and I would talk about doing this new thing, and just Gareth doing his the mindset, and him coming on to our show and coming on and just shooting the shit about whatever. it just like, wow, this guy is all inspiring. The guy was able
There's
to.
never like him. There's no one like him, man.
No,
It's just,
he was amazing. And you know what? I look at it this way. You got to carry the torch. You gotta keep doing what you're doing, man.
yeah.
That's
tell you something paranormal. I don't know if this is paranormal or not. I had a dream that Gareth was living 45 minutes south of Las Vegas.
oh yeah.
And I ran into him in like a casino kind of place out there, and he was shocked as hell. I was like, Gareth. And I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I've had some weird dreams. I've had some dreams that I think have come true. But remember, we talked about this one time. Remember, like the deja vu thing, Steve?
Yep.
Like, I was out in front of like I'd watched Running Man. I can remember all these moments where I'm like, remember we talked about this about a month ago.
Yep.
Now I had this weird dream that I ran into Gareth in it was about 45 minutes south of Las Vegas, and he was hiding out. And I ran into him. He's like, "Fuck." I'm like, "Hey, Gareth,
What are you doing here?"
I was like, "What do you do?" Like, it's a dream. I woke up going, "Oh God." Yes, it was disappointing because I was like, "Oh my God, let's go up to Vegas." Like, what? And he was it was like a casino hotel because Nevada's full of them. I guess. And
I guess I missed not doing as much shows as I could have with them at the end. You know, that's the tough part.
Well, yeah, you're going to, man. I mean, that's a given, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and I keep saying this, like, I wasn't on as much as you guys were. I didn't know Gareth as long as you guys did, but I'll tell you, even the amount of time I knew him, I still feel this huge void. Like I'm like, it'd be like, I'd get a message Sunday night, dude. I need you to come on the Mindset Morning, or hey, you want to come on for the, his open Friday night gig or whatever. It's like it's not there anymore, and it kind of sucks. And you try to fill it. And I said to myself, I said, look it. I loved listening to Mindset. I love the guys on Mindset, Joe, Trevor, Ben and Reeves, and Matt, and whoever else has been a part of the Mindset family. I said, I want to know you guys. I want you to be a part of this. I want you guys to stick around and stick together because you guys with Gareth made something special.
Are you planning anything, Steve, for Ontario? And I mean, now that I'm here, I'm like 2 hours from you.
I was
your house for dinner.
We were talking about having a gathering. Yes.
Yeah.
We were talking about having a gathering, and whoever wanted to come out, come on out.
Like, because my daughter's been bugging me. She wants to go visit like abandoned houses and hospitals, and I don't know, like that kind of stuff. But
there's a lot of interesting places you can check out. Yeah,
guys, I gotta go though because
I'm gonna end this.
She's probably
gonna end this too.
This is probably one of the longest shows you've done, right? A long time.
It's been a while since we've gone past 2 hours. Yeah, but I love it, man. You guys, awesome. Tim, thanks, buddy.
But I gotta pop out here, guys.
Yeah, Trevor, take care, buddy.
I can hear some movement upstairs, and probably tuck my daughter in. She's probably loving that she's this late. So
thank you, Trevor, for coming
Trevor,
on.
Take care.
When I saw you come on, man, I had to get on and talk to you, man, and I appreciate you. You're a good friend of mine.
It's all good. We'll just
dude. So
we're
good, man.
All right, man. Thanks for I don't know what's wrong with my audio, but or the video, but
hey,
I'm too ugly. I'm too ugly on here.
You're with us, buddy. You're with us. All the same. Thanks for popping in.
All right, guys.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Take care.
I gotta head out too.
Yeah.
So, but thanks,
Joe,
dude, for having me on, dude.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. It was great to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, man. I wasn't gonna come on. I was like, I gotta come on and talk to you, man, because I needed it. So, thank you for carrying the torch. Keep it going, dude. Doing awesome work.
And you too, buddy. Keep it up.
Yeah, man.
Don't stop. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, man. So
Take
hopefully we
care,
can
man.
do some shows in the future. And,
Oh, for sure. We'll
yeah,
have
dude.
something going. We'll have something going, dude.
And like I said, I got my paranormal friend just linked up with tonight. You guys go ahead and do a show together.
Yeah.
So
Send me the info, and
I will. I
we'll
think
hook it up.
I think he's pretty cool. So thank you so much. You're amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you too, man. You too.
All right.
Take care, buddy.
I'll see you, man.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. And don't forget tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. We've got Canada's most wanted. Michelle DeRosier is going to be on the show. She's going to be on the show. And our good buddy, everybody knows Justin Valrio. If you're a mindset fan, he's going to be on the show, co-hosting with us. Always great to have Justin on. And whenever Michelle's on the show, we usually talk about whatever, paranormal, whatever. Usually a great time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Well, watching. Hey, Explorer Sue and number one and everybody else that stuck around. Thank you, Matt, for joining us. Tim, great to have you on, buddy. Always a blast. Thank you for coming in, and we'll look forward to having you back on in the future for one of these. Guys, take care, and join us tomorrow night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on YouTube and the New Visions Radio Network. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening. Good morning in the UK, by the way. Yeah, good morning. Take care, guys.